All right, let's do it. Guys, thank you for tuning into another episode of the podcast. Remember, if you enjoy our content and you know other people that enjoy our content, please rate, review, and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and have your friends and family do the same. If you watch us on YouTube, hit that like, have your friends subscribe to that as well. And if you wanna promote the pod out in the street and actually help us monetarily, please go to insensitivemerch.com, cop some gear, stay drippy with Drippy. Other than that, you guys ready for the show? Here we go.
And here we go.
You want to be like? Sensitivity equals fucking poverty.
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Check it out, homie.
Guys, welcome to episode 101 of Insensitive Culture. As always, you know me.
So what?
You know my guy over here.
And that fool blazer, Ramon.
On the other end is always we will forever be
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Make sure you check it out, homie.
Make sure you check it out, homie. I gotta stop saying it right after. It's a habit.
We need
now.
a compilation. I want to see like the last 30 weeks of just.
It's just gonna be the same shit.
It's all right. It's part of it. You might as well just add the drop, dude. Just add it to the end of the thing.
Check it out, homie.
But then you would say it after that.
And then you would say it after you say it. Yeah.
Yeah. It would get out of control.
Oh man, if you guys are really tired of that, DM us. Let us know. Say, hey, walk. Make it a hashtag. Stop walk. Oh man,
watch your shit get blown up as soon as that episode drops.
Every single person is
like,
yo, cut that shit out.
Stop that.
Cut that shit out. Nah, guys, how's it been? How's it been since episode 100 with the fucking hot wings and all the
100
spicy shit?
I've been craving that spice since, bro. Like we've been talking about this. I took a couple of those hot sauces with me, and I feel like anything I eat, I just want to spice. I mean, obviously not to the point where I'm fucking dying or like out of control, but like I think I took the number 5 sauce, and that's sort of right in the middle of 10. It's perfect amount of spice, and even Ash has been going in for the spice lately. And I always used to have the joke that like ketchup was too spicy for her, and she shocked me. She asked for like Frank's one day. Like we were.
Was it because she watched the show?
It was after she watched the show. It was 100%. It inspired her without a doubt. So,
there were a few people who mentioned spice after, like, y'all make me want to eat some spicy shit,
bro. Even before we did that, like as I've gotten older, like I've wanted more and more spice. Like nothing crazy, but like I had some salsa today that I normally thought was spicy, and it just didn't. It wasn't hitting like it was, bro. Like I gotta
Dave.
step it up. I have to step it up a little bit, bro. And it was a hot salsa, bro. And like I mean, they don't make an extra hot of that kind. Like I don't know what to get now, so like I have to get something that'll at least make.
I'll put you on.
Normally I get a little brow
I'll put
sweat.
you on to some spicy salsa.
Little upper lip sweat.
Yeah.
Send a case to the studio, Johnny. We'll.
No, my favorite shit that I only find in Rochester because it is they sell it at Wegmans. It's like a small batch type of salsa. That's why it's really good. It's from I can't remember the name of the brand, but you only find it in the section like it's around like the cheese and the cottage cheeses and shit. It's like fresh chopped food. It's a fresh chopped salsa. Yeah, it's in the cooler section.
I see what you're saying.
And they have one that's called Jack Special, which it's nice, but it's not the super kick. But the super kick is the screaming hot. The screaming hot salsa is that's my shit. But I can only do that shit like I don't know 25, 35 chips, and then I'm like, yeah, that's it. It's a wrap.
I think
tomorrow.
the serving size of chips is like 12. So you're doing
two
servings.
All
right,
Nobody goes by
two
that.
servings.
Yo, the servings are out of control. Not to get off topic, but servings for things are insane. Like
It's not.
That's not even a serving. Like how can that
People
be?
don't pay attention
That's
to
the
it.
name of the brand.
Garden
Oh,
Fresh.
that sounds good.
I feel like I've seen that over there. I always get Mrs. Renfro's. I only see it like in the.
Now you gotta go check it out.
One of the aisles there, like international section with like all the Mexican stuff.
yeah.
Like it's only when they have a jalapeno and then a habanero one, and they're both fucking spicy. There was a video I saw on YouTube because now spicy shit pops up in my YouTube since like I watched like hot ones like to prepare.
Yeah.
And these dudes poured this Mrs. Renfro's habanero salsa on the one chip like challenge, dude. And they like
Holy
had
crap.
they had like a plate of them, bro, and they were just crushing it. It was disgusting. But
Yeah, I follow because I mentioned it before because like TikTok, a lot of people give a shit because it's known for like dancing and all that shit.
Yeah.
But really, once you start liking certain things, they start to pop up more. So I don't see any dances. Like rarely do I see a dance just scrolling through.
Yeah.
I see funny shit. I see like those drink challenges, like the food stuff that
you see the
like,
shit that you watch.
Exactly, the shit that I watch, and one of them is I follow a couple guys that do the heat stuff, and they eat like the peppers, like the ghost peppers and everything, and they'll
Peppers
like
are
eat
wild.
that shit like just like that. And they'll try out different peppers, and they'll dip those peppers in different shit.
That's different.
Yeah, like a spoonful of like horseradish and like exactly, whole tube of wasabi,
Damn.
like shit like that. So I follow a lot of. I don't know why I find that shit entertaining, but there's
It's crazy to say. That's very
Yeah.
entertaining. What do you mean you don't know why you find that shit? It's awesome
because
to watch.
it's just like somebody eating hot stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's.
I mean, we literally did that last week.
That's true. That's true. But no, that's literally their whole thing is just like, I'm gonna eat this pepper, and so, but whatever. Like I'll watch that dude. He does a lot of different shit, and he'll put you on like different brands that have like the craziest items that you didn't know exist. Like he had a block of cheese that just was like covered in. It's supposed to be like the hottest cheese, and he'll like cut slices of that, eat that, throw something on there, like some sort of different hot sauce on there. Yeah, like and they do that shit, and that shit is wild. But he says it all the time. He's like that's where I thought like I got the thought process of let me chew this shit all the way through because I don't want it to sit in my stomach as a whole piece. Let me, think, eat something carb heavy
So you
beforehand.
got your pre-technique from.
Yeah, exactly. From watching all of that. So,
Pre-gaming.
Okay.
but now I've been with the spice and
Training.
Now I like want to try all this spicy shit, but I don't know how far to go with.
I mean, you went pretty far, bro. Like you're good. Just whatever you want to try,
I
just try.
guess you
What's
could
the
put
worst
a
that can
last
happen?
dab on top of the one chip challenge, and there you go.
You want to do that with me?
Nah. I still like to taste. I like spice with flavor.
Word.
There was the one chip challenge wasn't exactly the bomb because that's what I hear. A lot of people have a problem with the bomb beyond insanity is that it tastes like nothing. It's just pure hot.
It's just heat.
It tastes
Yeah.
it's just gross.
Yeah.
And that makes it really, really horrible and undesirable. That's not the one that we had. We had the Evolution, which the Evolution was a more
Flavor balanced.
flavor
heat
balance.
Yeah.
Well, it was
Right.
more natural. It had natural flavors and shit. in it.
Right,
So,
right. Yep.
so you don't. So I guess it didn't seem like it was as hot.
Yeah, because the Beyond Insanity is like all extract, right?
Yeah, it's all extract.
Yeah.
So that shit is.
People were putting the Beyond Insanity on the one chip.
Yeah.
was-
Yeah.
These dudes, they worked at an airport. Like they were literally in like the break room, like in their like American Airlines shit. You could clearly see it on their shit. Just like got the camera on this one dude who's like, yeah, I got this. And he just fucking beasted it out, dude. It was crazy. He was pretending like it wasn't touching him, but he was fucking pouring sweat and getting all fucked up, dude. It was awesome to watch.
I'm down to do it, but next time I got to do it with somebody else.
That's word. Johnny, when you coming back here?
He's like, no.
No, we'll eat something spicy. Get
I
your
did
hand
the
in a
White
couple of those.
Lightning. I'm good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he did the White Lightning. You're the only one who.
The brisket sandwich.
The what?
The brisket, whatever the Arby's challenge
Oh,
is.
that
I'm not- fuck
shit.
with
Everyone says that. Everyone's been saying that it's a challenge, but the people who are used to spice are like, that's not really that spicy. And it's the people who don't have any kind of spice tolerance. They're like, oh my
fair.
God, that's so hot.
That's fair.
Oh,
Is
man.
that
All right.
over? They still got it.
I wasn't able to find it in Rochester because I wanted to do it for one of the reviews.
No.
So, and I'm not calling every single Arby's like trying to track this shit down.
Who would even answer the phone at an
Diablo.
Arby's?
I'm sure somebody does.
Like, hey, this is Arby's. Why are you
Has
calling?
cotton webs all over the fucking phone.
Right.
Like, what the
Nobody
fuck?
touches it rings and
Should
it
I-
scares
should I
everybody.
answer
They don't
it?
know.
Should I answer the phone?
No.
No.
They probably wouldn't even answer, bro. They just let that shit ring and drive through the drive-through.
Not at all. All right, guys. You ready for some questions?
Let's do it.
Let's do some questions. Dave, hit us.
Carefully
With the questions you have this week.
curated questions.
Questions.
Oh yeah, we don't have a questions.
Questions.
Oh, we have a drop now. I was trying not to talk over it because I was like, this is gold right now. I don't want to fuck this drop up. All right, guys. Would you rather date a cool girl who's 25 pounds overweight or a hot girl who's a religious nut? He's like, I knew there had to be a motherfucking catch.
A cool girl who is 25 pounds overweight.
25 pounds is
I've done
is that a
both.
is that a lot?
25
of-
pounds is not a lot.
It's not a lot. I'd
I
rather
wrote this
date the
question.
25. Yeah.
Barstool.
Yeah. I'd rather do the 20. I don't care how hot she is, man. A religious nut.
That's tough,
no.
bro. That's tough.
25 pounds. What is that? That's like a little pouch. Like it's your average girl.
If I had 25 pounds of fat,
You know what I
in
mean?
front
like
of
it's
me-
your.
Yeah.
Whoa,
It really
whoa,
is
you calling
your.
chicks fat out here?
No, it's your average person.
Doesn't
Every
walk.
time a
25 pounds is
skinny.
not-
Sometimes
not
it'll
much.
be a girl who'll be like, yo, I need to lose 20 pounds or 25 pounds. And you look at her and you're like, okay, like, all right.
Why?
Like I got, yeah. Like, why would you want to do that? Cause it's literally like an average person who just lives a normal diet, like every day. You don't really find the girls that are just like straight up, like thin, all the fucking, like it's not as common, I would
it's
think.
definitely not as common.
So I would have to go with the 25 pounds overweight over a hot ass religious nut.
Yeah, I mean the religious thing just.
It's not even the religious thing. You
No,
can be
it is.
religious.
For me,
it's
it is the religious thing.
No, it is.
No, it's a religious nut. Like there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
religious
Well, yeah.
person, and then there's a religious nut. No, I'm not dealing with that religious
I
nut.
still even though they're not a zealot, like someone who's religious, like let's get up, it's Sunday, let's go to church. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Like
but
that's not happening. Like
the nut is
so
the one-
any little bit of like religiosity.
Yeah.
If I quote Bill Maher, wasn't that his stupid fucking?
Yeah, that was his name. That was the
It
name
was
of
something
his
stupid
movie.
like that.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was okay. Actually, I know we were talking shit about Bill Maher, but I didn't hate that movie. Yeah, any bit. So like, anytime there's religion involved, and like, you know, if it's pushed on me, I want no part of it. I don't care if you're fucking Pam Anderson.
I'm saying that the religious nut is the one that would push it on you. A religious person may accept that you are probably not religious, but she's gonna go to church and she's gonna do whatever.
And that's okay.
She'll
She
always
could do her.
recommend like
guess.
you
See,
should
there,
really
there would
come
be
with
those
me.
little jabs, like the little make me
You
feel
need
like
to come
shit
with
when
me.
she's going to church. It wouldn't be blatant, like forcing me like a nut would,
Yeah.
but there would be little jibes and things said to make me feel like I'm not a good Catholic or whatever fucking religion they were. So yeah,
Probably, yeah.
no, I would go 30 pounds to not have to deal with that bullshit.
I feel you. Yeah, I'm with you right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've
we're in
done
agreement.
both.
No religion.
Johnny
Done
said
both.
I've done
You don't want to have a religious nut.
Nah, bro. No.
No.
I figured you might have a little
Religious nuts are
expertise
bad.
in that area.
I have quite a few. And yeah.
Just like any
No
of the
fun.
chicks that like you were subjected to, though they may be hot, there was probably like that aspect of religion. Just like the
I mean,
crowd
I
that you
won't
guys.
lie. Like there was points where I was also a religious nut. And so like it didn't matter. I
Oh,
won't
so
even
you
say
were
religious
about
nut.
that.
I don't
You
think
were
I was
about
ever. Nah. I mean, that was maybe like.
You gotta be real young
If I
though.
would be like up front, there was maybe like 6 months of my life, maybe a year that I was a nut. That I was like really committed. I was really into it, hardcore.
6
in
months
what
of
in
my
what
life.
in
way?
aggregate of like all
How
the.
old were you?
I was gonna say, how old were you?
From like from 5 through maybe
5.5? Because you
23.
said 6 months. No, like the 6 months of a very religious Johnny.
No,
How old were you?
I'm saying in aggregate.
in
All the
aggregate
time
between,
from 5 years to 23-ish.
There was 6 months.
There was
total, were
probably
you?
6 months to a year in total of all those hours. You put them all together, that I was, sold out.
I was gonna say, bro,
But
I've known
yeah,
you,
you've never known me. I don't
You've
think
never-
during that time.
I've known you for 22 years.
Maybe
and
no. There
not
was. I
once.
feel like
no.
When I first started working with
I can't
you,
remember
you
because
sat
there
me
was a
down.
time. There was a. Well, I don't. Was I already dating Joyce when we met?
When we met,
I don't think so. No, because we met in 2001.
No, not
I
when
didn't
we
meet Joyce till,
initially.
like-
Not when we
Yeah.
initially met. No.
So there was probably there was a period of time. I'm gonna call it maybe 3 months or so in between then, because when I met Joyce, I met her at a church conference, and I had stopped smoking at that time. I remember I was going to church. I was trying to be a good guy, and then as soon as I snagged a girl,
You
I
are a
was
good
like, I
guy.
guess it's over with that life.
I did what I had to do.
I did what I had to
He
do.
gives
I got a good one.
the thriller. Michael Jackson looks back. He's like, oh, I got it.
But yeah, but so before that though, there was definitely times where I would be with girls that I wasn't, but I was still in that life, because my dad was still the pastor, so I was,
Right.
I would still go to church and whatnot, and I would do whatever the fuck I wanted, and then I would just join my parents to church on Sunday mornings to keep them happy.
Just out of respect.
And then I would chase tail every now and then, and most of my friends were still in that circle as well. So, it was one of those things where I was kind of like, eventually I'm gonna find a girl that's kind of like me, that's got that religious background, but is not a religious nut. And hey, I did.
Right.
Hey,
The only time I went to church, and I told you guys, I've said it before on the podcast for those of you who hadn't listened to those episodes, I was just like making out with girls in the bathroom and stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say, all you
that's
did
right.
was
That's right.
So that's all I really did. But I remember like when I would get up and I would, because my parents aren't really, they like to do the, the cross when they're passing,
Right.
cemetery, like all these weird things that make absolutely no sense, but never set foot in a church. My mother would go every now and again, but I was in that habit. I was walking with my boy to church, and we would stop at my grandmother's house. And my mother and my grandmother would be just so happy and proud of me that I was going to church.
Little did they know.
No. It wasn't until recently that my mom like called me out. She was like, "You were like going to church for a while." And I forgot how it came up, but she was like, "Were you just like going there for girls?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And she was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna go to hell."
whatever happened. You used to go to church. You were a good
Used to go
boy.
to church all the
You
time.
were a good boy. I was like, "Mom, I would not understand because I went to a church on North Clinton Avenue. For those of you in Rochester, you know exactly which one I'm talking about, St. Michael, where the pastor was a white man that knew Spanish, but his Spanish was super mumbly. And so I never really understood what the fuck he was saying anyway.
R.I.P.
You know what I mean? Yes, rest in peace. But I never really understood what he was saying because it was like a mumbly.
I thought you're not religious.
Spanish.
It's muscle memory sometimes
muscle
from
memory,
all those sacraments that I made.
Facts.
Oh man!
All right,
Next
moving
question.
on. I think we're all really good with the thickums.
It was
Yeah,
just funny.
that's
It was
word.
just funny.
That's word. What was better, ages 8 to 18 or 18 to 28? I mean, they're different kinds of better.
Yeah,
right? Like
they are
they're
different.
different. They're totally different lives. Honestly, like
8 to 18 was.
carefree.
It was just carefree.
Summer
Get up
vacation.
for your
Oh, bro, remember that summer vacation?
Watching-
You felt like you
yeah.
had a year off before you had to go back to school.
Saturday morning cartoons, like all of that shit.
Yep. As long as
That
your
was-
homework was done, or at least for me, as long as my homework was done, I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. Stay up, do whatever. Didn't matter.
But 18 through 28.
You're fucking, you're drinking. I mean, usually you're getting fucked. I mean, you're having a lot of the times that I remember, like when I think about good times,
so
they're not
broke during those days.
They're not from 8 to 18. What, from 18 to 28?
18 to 28, it's like I did shit, but it was like everything was tight. It was like, you know, you got $40 to go out. Yeah, you went out, but you ain't have much. I was working so many different jobs and doing a lot of overnight jobs. I don't know. I didn't really start doing shit till I got married. I did a couple of like work trips. Most all of my trips to Vegas were work trips in my mid-20s. And I was able to like, you know, scheme the company to pay for me and my meals while I'm out there. And then Joyce would also scheme the company she worked for to also go to the same conference. So we would both kind of be on a work trip together.
Balling on the
that's
other
like the
company's
only
dime.
shit I ever that's the only thing I ever did. And that was all on company money, except a couple of dollars maybe for like, you know, a special dinner or some shit that we would do. But
all the crazy high times we would have was around that time.
Word. And you know, that was always like straight, like I spark tonight, you spark tomorrow type shit. Like it was every now and then we would match.
Neither of us got it. Neither of us got it. Yo, your mom got some
We
weed.
looking for somebody. Word.
Those
Hit
days
your
we would
dad
get
up. Hit your
fucking
dad up.
bro, we would get fucking dimes on fronted. Like that's how low shit was.
That's crazy.
I would have fronted y'all at dime for sure.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
got
We
y'all.
would do that. Either my cousin or our homeboy.
Word.
Would do it. But I would honestly have to go with 8 to 18. The reason I'll say why is because Carefree. Saturday morning cartoons was the ritual. That was great feeling to wake up, not have to get up super early, but you still do anyway, and you just chilling in front of the TV. And then not only that, but I remember I went to from like 12 and up. I was going to like teen nights, so I would be.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
so
was
I
out.
would. Yeah, so I was out. I was still having those times.
That's why he needs to go out
outside.
all the time. Still,
I
This
may
has
not
been
have been
ingrained in him.
drunk. I may not have been drunk, but you know what? I was chilling. I was meeting up with girls. I remember that was a time like I remember. I've said the story where
Is that the skating?
where we went to. No, it wasn't even skating. It was teen night at a club. Like it was like club.
The
Yeah.
zoo. You go to the zoo.
It was. I think it
Yeah,
was.
you go to
I
the
think it was the
zoo.
zoo. I can't remember. I remember Snappers. It was.
Snappers. Wow, those are names.
It was a club
Rochester
right by the
clubs
beach.
right there.
Right by the beach. And I remember getting dropped off there. We would meet girls there. We'd be dancing all night, having a fucking blast. That's when I was like running from like, you know, we would meet up with girls at their houses and we would have to bounce because their parents came home. We're like hiding and shit.
Gotta dip out.
Like that was all those years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it was way more carefree than you said, like after 18, you have your bills, you have this and that going on. And while it was fun, it was still a little bit more.
But that's like stress kicked in, and then it was like, man, I had fucking defaulted loans that I owed money on, creditors coming after me. It was bad times, man, bad times. I was going to Disney World every year when I was from 8 to 18. I literally went every. As a matter of fact, that's now that I think about it, that's the first year I went to Disney World. Was 8 years old. And then like 2 years later, I think my parents bought a timeshare. And so it was just like every year we would always go. And my dad fucking loves Mickey Mouse and shit. So, and Epcot Center. So we would go to Disney every year until I was 17 or 18, my freshman year in college, where I was like, nah, I'm done with that life. And then life went downhill.
I've never done Disney. I can't wait. I can't wait to take my kids to Disney because I've never been able to go. And I'm sure it's just like your average shit. And I'm gonna have a bunch of shit
it's
where
not.
I'm like,
it's
this
so
sucks.
fucking lit.
I'm just saying,
it is
the
lit.
shit, man.
It's lit, but at the same time, it's like Darien Lake, but you're there for a week. Like it has
Word.
that feel to it, like where you
Yeah,
just
but
like, is
you've
this
done
enough?
there in like for a week.
I've
Well,
never
maybe
done that.
a long weekend, right? Like a camping.
I've
at
never done
Darien
that.
Lake.
No.
You never Darien Lake camp?
Like a concert and
Bro.
shit. Yeah, I've done that before.
Bro, my
At
dad
the
could
park
not.
during the day and shit.
I've heard of it. I've heard of
I'm
the
aware
camping.
that it's a
I'm
thing.
aware
I've done it
that
like
it's a
I
thing.
did that in my 18 to 28, I think.
That's dope.
Just like with friends, you know.
I grew up in the hood, so my hood friends are too cool for shit like that. They would go, can't really, you know what I mean?
Right. It's not hood to go to Pembroke.
It's not. My dad just couldn't be away for too long, so it was like it was a rarity if we actually stood at Darien Lake. And for those of you who aren't familiar, Darien Lake is a theme park that's
Six Flags. It's a Six Flags.
Yeah.
If we stood there long enough to see fireworks, that is a rarity because we gotta go.
You left before the
so-
fireworks. Damn.
So let alone camping anywhere
For a weekend.
for a weekend, let alone overnight. Like no,
Can't even stay till
no.
dusk. Miss those
That shit don't
fireworks,
happen.
dog.
That shit don't happen. I've
I definitely
I've
used to
never
do
been
that.
camping in my life, bro. Never.
Damn.
I mean, it was what's that called? Glamping, right? Like it's
Yeah. Yeah. It's not
in a
camping.
trailer.
Camping. Yeah. It's not. Camping.
I have done the tent
I was gonna
stuff.
say I
as a kid,
I never glamped
never
at Darien
glamped
Lake.
either.
It was always passing out drunk in a shitty tent because I was fucking
Oh no, I was
hammered,
just
bro.
passing out drunk in a trailer.
in a glamper.
in like one of those pop up trailers. I don't
Yeah.
know. They're
Yeah.
I'm assuming they weren't that expensive, but I can't remember.
Nah, they weren't. My grandpa had one when I was a kid, like where you crank the thing and it literally fucking
Yeah.
goes
No,
up.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
the
yeah.
shit that they have at Darien Lake there. You rent from them.
Oh, yeah, no, I never read. That's
All right.
that's rich people shit.
What's the
Anyways.
next question? Because I can hear the vaginas drying up as we continue this conversation.
Oh, you could hear that? Sorry. Zip. I didn't answer the question. Dog.
Oh,
Why you
what's
fucking
yours?
rushing
Yeah,
me through
which
the
one is
motherfucking
yours?
No,
You're
y'all
right,
don't even
you're
care
right.
about my motherfucking answer.
I do care. I do care.
I picked 18 to 28
Really?
because I didn't
Yeah,
I didn't
good.
have the same experience as y'all. Like I lived at home for a good chunk of my 20s while I was going to college and working part time. Like I didn't live on campus. Like I saved a shitload of money just staying with my dad. And I mean, I didn't have any, like I paid him money sometimes. Like it wasn't even like a monthly thing. Like I would watch, like I have a little brother and sister. Like I would babysit them or take them someplace. But like I pretty much came and go and did what I wanted. And I was living and I didn't have rent to pay anywhere. So like I was working full time, dude. Like when I started working at Apple, I was still living at home, bro. And I wasn't paying rent. Like
nice.
I had money.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah,
like
yeah.
once I got out of the house and like I moved on my own, like that money fucking went real quick, bro. And like would drop down. But like
sure.
my 18 to 28 was fucking like
Lit.
it was. I remember chunks of it and like it was awesome. And like I just remember like there wasn't
That sounds
there
good.
wasn't any sense of like struggle to it. Like hearing what Johnny said, like he had a different 18 to 28 experience.
Same,
like I
bro.
was,
I struggled
and
too.
both y'all, and like, and I feel bad because like my 8 to 18 was still dope. Like I didn't do shit when I was a kid either, and like we weren't rich, but like we would camp sometimes or like go to Darien Lake or like go to vacation. Like I've been to Disney a couple times, but like it wasn't every year. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
That might have been a little doper when I was younger.
Yeah, Johnny had the life there.
But yeah, no, 18 to 28 was definitely where it was at because I had money and I could get drunk. And those were all the times I went to Vegas when I was fucking older. So
nice.
last question. Is jerking off to webcam girls cheating?
Absolutely not.
I'm gonna also go
Absolutely
into
not.
the no category. The only caveat here is, let's say I'm dating somebody, which I am, and let's say I go onto a cam girl website and I start watching this cam girl. And then I start, then you're interacting with her. You're sending her money, bro. Like you're buying her shit on her Amazon gift list, and like that shit can spiral out of control quick. I feel like because a lot of these chicks, like that's how they make their living. They hook these dudes that are like, you'll go in their chat. Let's say her name is, Hot Girl 69. Like you'll see these dudes in the chat. They're like, Hot Girl 69 fan, biggest fan, XX like. And like, there's these dudes that are like throwing like
there's always
fake currency at the, and it's it gets out of control.
For those of you, for those of you who are familiar,
Fucks up my jerking off. I'm trying to bust, and I got fucking somebody winning a slot machine over this bitch, dude. It fucking sucks.
But so when you're that person, even like a OnlyFans, because they do the DMs and the OnlyFans and shit like that, and you message and like that shit gets then it's like
that's a slippery slope.
First of all, it's a slippery slope. However, it's not cheating because she's not into you. She's really not.
Has no
but you
interest
are
in you
completely devoted into this person. If you are just sliding in those DMs,
I don't know.
Giving her money,
I would say
yes. At that point, yes.
Right.
I'm just saying, but it's it's
even though she's not
because
into you,
she's
that don't
not
matter.
into you.
No, your intent. If she were, you're clapping those cheeks. And she's like, yeah, sure, come on over. But you're going to cheat, bro.
But if you are mindlessly just like, you know how they have like the cam girls, but it's like, it's part of the search where they have just the cam girl videos, or even if you watch the live, but you don't interact, you're just like kind of like just like waiting.
It's like going to a strip club. Like you're chilling in the bed, like,
porn.
you know, like you're watching
porn.
some chick do her thing and maybe she... Like, but she's not even looking at you. She has no idea that you're there. Like, there's no
exactly.
You just chill and do your thing, and she's not making her rounds after she's done dancing, trying to collect money in a fucking hat.
Like everything else, there is a fine line. She puts her leg up. She puts it down.
I hope she's dancing better. I hope she's at least giving a little more effort now.
I highly doubt it.
Next time we go visit Johnny, we have to pop back in there just to see how it's.
Walk straight in there and say, I don't want a hot dog.
I'm going to bring my own Zweigels. I'm just going to have a Zweigels with me when I go in there. Be like, I'm good.
Bro, I'm the other way. Find a better strip club and then we could go there.
We're going to Scores. We're not leaving the city. We're not going to the fucking podunk ass strip club. That's what we get.
Son.
That's what we get.
Oh, that was great. I will cherish that memory
for sure.
For the rest of my life. Oh man. All right. I guess we're done with the questions. So you know what that means.
You know what it's time for. News Clips.
What's up? I've been trying to figure out kind of like what the hell I want to talk about because there's so much shit that's happened.
There is a lot.
There is a lot, and I really don't want to spend a lot of time on this, so I think I'm gonna drop this one first because we talked a little bit about this shit last week, but the shit just has blown up.
Keeps
spiraling and spiraling, and people really coming after the boy. Let's just get this Joe Rogan shit out of the way. All right, so just to quickly recap, last week or 2 weeks ago, people were coming at Joe Rogan for COVID misinformation guests that he's had on the show and trying to get Spotify to remove him off of the platform. And then we had artists like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell who were like, if you don't get rid of Joe Rogan, then take my music off your platform. Spotify was like, peace the fuck out, bro. Like, you good. But then over weekend, India Ari was like, yeah, me too. Take my music off of Spotify. But take my music off of Spotify for a whole different reason. Like, I'm down. I get the whole COVID misinformation shit, but also Joe Rogan has said a lot of shit that I don't agree with. And, you know, since we're on the anti-Joe Rogan train now, here's some shit that he's done. And then she dropped this supercut video that is pretty much just Joe Rogan saying the N-word like 35, 75 times or some shit in a row. It's pretty wild. Completely out of context, absolutely 100%. But it's still wild to hear anyone say the N-word that flagrantly and like straight up, I guess. It's just you don't really hear that word that often. So then just hear someone say it in casual conversation back to back to back to back is like, holy shit. Anyways, so after that dropped, then Joe issued an apology for the COVID misinformation stuff. We talked about that last week. Joe dropped another apology on Saturday, which you could tell was
more
a lot more serious from his.
Yeah,
he was in a
way more
turtleneck, I
heartfelt.
think.
It was the Uncle Fester, the Uncle Fester video, right?
Yeah, the Uncle Fester video. Yeah, my man was like, and he sounded dead ass sincere. I think, you know, there's still a couple of things that he said that, you know, I take qualm with, but for the most part, I think he was sincere in his apology. He said it dead ass, like, if you're saying some shit where you have to say I'm not a racist, then you probably fucked up in what you said.
Exactly.
And so so it's just kind of continued from that point, where people are. The CEO of Spotify has come out and he said, you know, we're not gonna get rid of him, but we are, you know, he doesn't. Like it's not our values or some shit. He tried to stand behind some, like, you know, he distanced himself, tried to stand behind some, canceling is not the way. I think he used the slippery slope argument. And so it doesn't look like at this point, Joe is going to be gone unless Spotify, like I was telling my boy, unless Spotify continues to lose billions of dollars in either ad revenue or stock price, then they might have to, you know, make a different decision. But either way, I don't think it matters. I think, Joe Rogan is bulletproof on this whole situation. It doesn't matter.
It seems
for,
that way,
for him.
doesn't it?
He's gonna. He's honestly winning. More people know who Joe Rogan is than didn't know who Joe Rogan was.
They're like, we should
3
probably
weeks
check
ago.
this out, see what else he's saying.
He still has 14 million followers on IG. I checked it earlier today. So
Yeah.
but no, I've been seeing that whole thing, and there are a lot of celebrities that are standing beside him, mainly because they are saying that the attack on him isn't necessarily this, but it is because the campaign against him for the COVID misinformation stuff didn't work. So they're just trying to attack him with everything, which I agree. Yes. And his response on why he used the word, and that he hasn't used it in years. However, he used it in context of the actual word, because he at the time he didn't believe that just saying like the N-word, like shying away from saying that, like he believed
is it stigmatizing
when speaking about the word, he would just say the word,
Right.
which is whatever, you know what I mean? And even then he realized, like, yeah, it's wrong. Like I shouldn't have done that. And since then has come to terms with it. The only issue that I have a problem defending, the only thing was the Planet of the Apes.
The Planet of the
comment.
Apes one? Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, where he was obviously, and I think it was just like a comedian's mind, where he was in. It was a conversation that I don't know who the third person was, but he was having a conversation with
Another white person, probably.
No, one white person, one Cuban person, because the other one was what's his name?
Joe Diaz.
Joey Diaz.
Oh, it's Joey Diaz. He barely counts as fucking.
Right.
He probably
He's
says
Cuban.
the N-word more
Facts.
times than
Probably.
fucking Joe
Mostly
Rogan,
white.
bro. Are you kidding me?
Probably. So
He's like an
in the
honorary
company
Italian.
of his friends, he knows their humor. He probably said that to get a rise, like to get a laugh out of whatever. It doesn't make it doesn't make it right, but it's still very fucked up. And even in there, does he point out, like, he said what I just said is extremely racist. Like, he acknowledged that it's racist.
He said it after he said it. Yeah.
Exactly. And then in his apology, he's like, that's not what I meant, but it damn sure sounds like I did.
I mean, what else could you mean?
But,
There's no,
Exactly.
there's no other way to
still-
frame that, bro. He couldn't back his way out of that. He had to basically say, I made a bad racist joke. Like, there's no defending that at all, right?
Facts.
And it's obviously a very racist joke. So his apology for that, like he said, he should have just owned it and just been like, yo, yeah, that was a very poor taste in words, joking with my friends and stuff like that, and I shouldn't have done it. That part probably would have been received well. But everybody is still standing behind Joe Rogan, all of his black, white friends, like whatever. Even after all of that, they're standing behind him because they feel like the issue is way more than everyone believes that he is not racist. And that the issue is more of the COVID stuff that is, that just didn't work really. So yeah, like you said, it's bulletproof, but he's bulletproof at this point. I don't think he's being canceled at all. He even released a thing. And I'll just end it on that. He released a post where he was like, people keep asking me how am I dealing with this whole thing? Mm-hmm. And this is my response. And he was just like, he was like at a restaurant and like, it was just like the food was just cooking up in front of him and all this shit.
I don't give a fuck.
And he's just like, yeah, just like whatever, man. Cause I know that I'm like, I know where I stay with all of that. And even like fucking David Goggins. I don't know if you're familiar with David Goggins, but he came out and was just like I was called the N-word for a long time, being in the military and all that stuff. Like
he was the Navy
more
SEAL,
years,
right?
yeah, it's Navy SEAL. I've been called that more times than I like to, than I like in my life, and I know racist motherfuckers. If you know David Goggins, that's how he talks. He's like, I know racist motherfuckers, and Joe is a good dude. He's a friend of me, and I blah blah. So there's a lot of good people behind him.
I think it definitely comes down to what, and I think I heard Trevor Noah talk about this.
That was the
when
best.
He was talking about it.
That was the best thing that I've seen on that situation. That was non-biased to any
Facts.
side other than this is the complete scenario. This is the entire story. This is what he said. This was the response. This is what's going on. This is how I feel as a black man, and as a black man.
Yep.
And this is where I am disappointed in the situation. That was the best story that was the best part.
Because he responded to both the original apology and to the second one, and I thought both of them is exactly as you just described. Very unbiased, very open about it, and then still giving his opinion. And one of the things he called out that I think is really the way you have to think about it is kind of at what point do you call something racist, or do you call a person, like, what do you have to do? And it's up for debate, right? Like there's no definitive answer, right? Like, is a single act of a racist thing, does that make you a racist? Do you have to have multiple acts? Does it matter on what you do and the impact does it have? Does that then make it, even though this is the first thing you've been publicly known of as doing racist, but because it, I don't know, maybe got someone killed or got someone fired from their job, does that now make you a lifetime racist? Like, there's so many, like, I don't want to call it nuances, but there's a lot of, play there. And that really comes to, it's like you got to know somebody and know kind of what you think about them.
Yeah.
But we're pretty anti-cancel here, I think, on this pod. So I don't think that he should really lose his gig at Spotify. As Spotify wants to pay him, then that's what Spotify wants to do. If you don't want to keep paying Spotify to listen to music,
on you for sure.
Then that's on you to
right.
stop paying them. If you don't want to support them, you think it's wrong, then cancel your subscription. But I don't think it's fair to force them to let him go because of that. Now, if the stock price, like I said earlier, if the stock price starts to tank because people cancel their subscriptions and then they let him go, then that's just business. Because at the end of the day, all Spotify cares about is that chavo.
Spotify is not going to make a move until it hits them in the wallet. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much the bottom line.
And all of the people that are, a lot of people that are putting the money in their wallet are pretty much sounding like they're behind.
I mean, the comments, at least, that I would read on the posts and shit, they were like 75-25 in favor of Joe for the most part.
Yeah,
black,
sure.
white, didn't matter.
I would say,
like,
for the most part.
Yeah.
Especially because this shit is such deep cuts. Now, on the flip side, though, kind of on the same level shit is people talking shit about Aquafina because apparently she has a Blaccent. People are calling
That's
this
so
now.
fucking stupid.
Have you heard?
what
Did you
is
hear
up?
about that until we talked about that in like the group chat?
No,
was that a thing that popped?
no,
that was
I've
on
never
my
heard
that
about
was on
this.
my Twitter, bro. That was trending on Twitter. Was something some statement that she made to some I don't know.
I don't even think she should have
Defending
responded.
herself.
Honestly,
I don't think she should have either.
I think that was a mistake.
So first of all, what they're describing as Blaccent is really someone born and raised in an urban environment.
That's basically saying I have a Blaccent because the way I talk on the show
Right.
is like I'm mimicking.
You're not
black folk.
if
fuck
anything,
outta here.
because I'm the same way.
I think all of us, even myself, in certain times, like there's 100% chance that.
What is this shit called? African American Vernacular English. Is that like the new phrase for Ebonics or something?
I think it sounds like
yeah.
it. It sounds like it.
That's the woke name for Ebonics.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing
That's
with
fucking
that, right?
ridiculous.
There are, like, as a person that was raised in the hood, right? And she is from Queens, right? She's from Queens, New York. So as a person that was raised in the hood, even your average
Yeah,
person
you're still gonna
in New
have
York
an accent for sure.
has a New York accent that outside of New York just doesn't sound proper, quote unquote, right? And we all and I'm just comparing it to what I know, right? And that's is as me growing up in the hood of our city, where we would constantly, if we are outside of our hood, right? Either you don't give a fuck and you are who you are, you speak how you speak, or you're going for like a job interview or something, and we put on a show.
Code switch.
Where we're just like, oh yeah, exactly. You code switch where it's just like, oh yes, of course. Like, hi, how are you, sir? You know, and you put on this.
Think Dave Chappelle's white voice.
Exactly.
That's
so, and that is how we are supposed to
Well, yes,
carry
sir.
ourselves outside of where we were raised, right? But any other day, we sound the way that we sound. So, not once have I seen anything that she has been a part of to where I felt like, oh man, that looks really unnatural. Like she's putting on a show. You know what I mean? And she's really
I
leaning
never got that
into
vibe
this
from Aquafina.
character.
No.
She's really leaning into this character that's putting on a Blaccent. Get the fuck out of here.
I think that's why it surprised us, because we never thought of her like that. We just like, yo, this chick's funny as a bitch. like
Who's
funny.
really hurt from Aquafina?
Right. There was Asian people, from what I read, at least like the comments, like Asian people were a lot of the ones giving her shit. At least in the Twitter comments, like I told you, it was trending on my shit. Like I was going through some of the comments.
Yeah.
They were talking about her making her money as an Asian woman using a quote unquote Blaccent.
See, and like that's probably another reason why I don't see any fault in that.
Because we're not Asian?
No, because I grew up with Asians. Like my
Word.
boys, like some of my closest
I
friends
know
are
a ton
Asian.
of Asians that have a Blaccent.
Bro, 1,000 and that is just them because of where we were raised. You know,
Word.
that's just the accent or the terms that we use. Like we just speak a specific way. And the Asian folks that I grew up with, the black dudes that I grew up with, the white dudes that I grew up with, they all speak the fucking same.
It's an urban dialect, I think, that transcends race. Like it's more of a geographical thing.
It is.
Like it doesn't matter where you came
Facts,
from,
yeah,
what
that's
you
exactly right.
speak. Like
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
It's everything that's around you, right? And like even growing up in the suburbs where, you know, it was 90% white people, like everywhere, like in the schools, like I don't think I had a black person or an Asian person in any of my classes until 4th or 5th grade. Like it was a while until I saw not that I had never seen black people before. It wasn't. I'm not. That's not where I'm trying to go. It's just
Where are you going, Dave? Sounding a little like Joe right now.
Before I realized that like my community was also made up of people who didn't look like me. Do you know what I'm saying? And then I start meeting these kids and they're in my classes and we're friends and like, you know, you end up sort of, you mimic what you're around. And a lot of us, regardless of race, I mean, use the same slang and the same words and the same body, like, you know, everything is I think geographical and less about race. And I feel like that's, it's not Aquafina's. And people were also saying her using the name Awkwafina instead of her name, which I believe is Nora, because she had the show Nora from Queens, and like her actual name is Nora. So that was also part of the reason that people were pissed was the name.
So fucking stupid.
No, I'm the messenger, bro. Don't fucking.
Hey, bro.
Yell at me.
My entire life, all of my friends called me Wok. Same shit. Like Wok. We have the like. What do we call them in the hood? Tag names, or just that's pretty much what we called them, right? Because back in the day,
tag name.
That came from back in the day, urban tagging up on the walls. You had a specific name that you would go by, whatever. Even though we didn't tag up on the walls,
say you're actually tagging your shit. No,
like,
that's hard to do, bro.
I'm just saying that's where the name.
That's where Quest came from.
Yeah, that's where that came from. So, like, Johnny, when I met him, Quest. He's always been Quest.
One.
Johnny Quest.
Quest one since
and
1992.
Exactly. One of my good friends till this day, I know his real name, but we call him Swerve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is just how we are raised, and it doesn't seem foreign to anyone except for the people that are not raised in that
What's Danny's
same vein.
name? Danny got a name?
No, Danny, I don't believe so. I don't know. He probably for a while though. He was going just by.
I know he was actually tagging shit because he's got art skills, son.
I mean, no, he wasn't tagging or anything like that. But Danny, I'm sure him growing up, he had his name that he was called. Or
Danny,
something.
DM me. Wouldn't you hear this? I know you listen to this. Let me know what that name was.
But we would always just have like a name that somebody labeled us one day.
Yeah,
and then that's just how it goes. Like that, you're just called that.
I never got a name,
and it goes by that.
I was just Dave. I always wanted a nickname when I was a kid. Like my family never called me anything. It was just Dave.
I remember I gave all of my when I was in like I don't know 5th or 6th grade. Is when I really started getting into. It was my early years of the graffiti culture, tagging culture, and I would be tagging up. You know, you used to have to wrap up your textbooks. I don't know if y'all did this. I would wrap.
Yeah, you had to cover it with like a brown paper
cover your
bag
textbook
or
with
something,
like brown paper bag shit. Yeah. So then I would draw in graffiti on all the shit, right? And I would tag on them, and then people were like, "Oh, that's so cool." So then I gave all my white boys a tag name. I created one for all of them, which really was me copying other people's tag names and giving it to them. Oh, damn.
You know what? My brother Papo, you know what his tag name was? I remember this mad early. Because he put it everywhere.
I just had this
conversation.
Give him a sec.
I had to guess it, and it took me forever. And then I don't think I did guess it, but I believe Fuse.
It was Fuse, yeah.
Fuse, yeah.
That was his
took me
name
forever to guess that,
yeah.
I think I guessed Phase or some shit.
We had the OG Nintendo. That shit just had marker all over it, Fuse like 1,000 fucking times. Dude.
The big fat chunky NES,
exactly.
bro. I remember that with the little door on the front that you
still
lift
tell
up.
him to this day he was part of FWA. From up above.
I remember
FWA crew.
FWA.
Yeah.
FWA crew.
That's a local pretty famous tagging crew from back in the day. That's still
tagging crew. Yeah,
they still do their thing. So shout out to FWA crew.
Well, I bring up Fresh Prince,
but yeah, that's
Smith.
bullshit. I was saying that is bullshit with Aquafina, man. All that shit is bullshit.
Oh, absolutely. I bring up Fresh Prince and Will Smith because my boy got nominated for an Academy Award again.
I saw.
And this time, King Richard, right? I don't know. I'm looking at these, and I think he got a good shot.
Well,
so the Oscars nominees were lit up today. And so on the Best Actor side, you have Will Smith and King Richard, which Again, we've talked about it. I don't think it was the most amazing performance or the most amazing movie, but I
was a
think
good movie,
Will
though.
did his thing. I think Will did his thing.
Amazing, no, but it was a good movie. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Now, I don't know if y'all saw this, but he's also going up against Denzel in The Tragedy of Macbeth.
I've never seen it.
I didn't.
I know
see it.
you saw it.
We talked about it. I did see it.
I saw you gave it
I
a 4
would
on
say-
Letterboxd.
Damn.
It was good. The movie was good.
But he
Denzel, though,
wasn't. Denzel wasn't a 4.
the thing,
give
I mean,
Denzel?
what bothered me the most was that I want to say everyone, if not almost everyone, was like a British actor, and they had a British accent, and then
Except
you got Denzel, like quoting Shakespeare in the same voice as Training Day.
It's
It was
Alonzo
just
Harris.
weird.
It was Alonzo Harris doing Shakespeare. That ain't no
It's just,
Oscar,
you know-
dog. That ain't no Oscar. I'm sorry.
It felt a little off. It was. I ain't gonna lie. It felt a little off. Did he do it well? Sure. Is it really hard to play Macbeth and say those lines? Absolutely. I don't know if he's best actor here. And then he's going up against my boy Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict is gonna take it. I'm calling it right now. 'cause
Power
I
of the
watched
Dong,
I watched
apparently.
Power of the Dong. Yo, Power of the Dong, bro.
Apparently,
Is that the episode title? Power of the Dong.
I like it.
I like it.
I'm about 50% through that movie
Bro,
right now.
that movie. Watch it. I watched it a second time because after I had watched it,
I'm
it
probably gonna
fucked
watch
me up. And then I had to read about what I watched and then watch it again so that I could understand what I
I need
read
to
about.
watch it all the way through.
Bro,
Shit.
it was fucking.
I
I
gotta
went
see
back.
this shit.
I changed my letterbox rating after I watched it a second time.
Really?
I went back. Yes, I bumped it up a half star to 4. I originally gave it a 3 out of 5 because I felt like some of it was over my head. But once I read about what I had watched, which I don't know if that's cheating or not, to read about what I had to understand that I saw. But once I understood it and it was sort of laid out for me to be like, oh fuck, I missed that. Like there was a whole bunch of shit, bro. Like that was way over my fucking head when I watched it, and I'm not embarrassed to admit that. Like it was.
I need to start doing something, right? And I've been going on this thing mentally where I need to get my discipline back, right? And one of the disciplines that I need to get back is getting the fuck off of my phone. So I be watching movies
tough,
and I be
bro.
watching
It's
shows,
tough.
and if the phone is within reach, I'm just like grabbing for it, not out of boredom, but just the simple fact of I'm just used to it. So I need to get the fuck away from, like, I need to put it away. So it's like, anyway, we don't have to get onto, shit like that, but it takes me away from a lot of the movie and show experiences. Right. So like, and that was one of them where it seemed like a good movie. I'm halfway through. I'm wondering where this is going because it hasn't quite hit just yet. So where I'm like, really, everybody's talking about this, but I'm assuming once you get to a certain point, it's
those
like
graphs. You know, they show the graphs of the directors where it's like Tarantino, and like the last third is like bah, bah, like where it's just going crazy.
Yeah.
The end of this movie, the last fucking sliver of this movie is just boom, 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 and then it fucking ends. Like it's a slow burn all the way through to the point where at the beginning where it's like, am I going to finish this? Like I'm almost bored at this point. Like I had to force myself. My phone was on do not just like it was away from me. Cause like you said, it's a muscle memory thing where I will reach for it. If it's near me, I'll look for it.
I need to stop. I need to stop doing that.
It's bad, bro. It's really bad. But like the last 5 minutes is just
okay.
And
so
I didn't realize that when I watched it.
I may even stop watching it where I am.
Just go back
and then go back and just watch it all the way through.
Put your phone in a different room.
Yeah, just
turn it off.
Try not to be distracted, which is hard with kids and everything. But try not to be distracted.
No, honestly, finish it again. Finish from where you are,
Yeah.
and then go back and just do a fresh watch with your bullshit away from you. Mm-hmm. And I promise it'll be
next
special
next time that I have. But
well, it's up for. I mean, the it's up for Best Picture as well. So it's got to be a pretty fucking.
It's got to be a pretty good movie.
It's going up against Belfast. It's going up against King Richard as well. Nightmare Alley, which I just got access to, let's say, but I still haven't checked it out. That's the one with Bradley Cooper. West Side
Nightmare
Story
Alley.
as well on Best Picture. Dune is up for Best Picture. That's
I was
a surprise.
surprised by I think
I
most
saw there were-
surprised by Dune.
I saw there were like 10 nominations for Dune.
Mostly probably like
it was
FX
it was a pretty high up there. Yeah, they got a good number of nominations. Licorice Pizza I still haven't seen, but I've heard a lot of good things about. Paul Thomas Anderson, right?
Yeah, Colin saw that. I was supposed to go see it with him, and we just couldn't match our times up. But he saw it, and he said he really liked it. He's a big
heard
Paul
some
Thomas
really good
Anderson
things,
fan, so he's probably a little biased, but I'm sure it was still good.
I was surprised by Don't Look Up.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know
All right.
how that got a Best Picture nomination.
Yeah, I don't.
Fucking woke ass
It's
Academy.
not. It is not. It is
Yeah.
not winning. That's not winning. At least I hope.
It's
No.
definitely not winning.
no, it's
Is
not
it?
bro.
Is it a well written, well done? Yeah, it's a good
Sure.
mirror to the world, but
Right.
I don't think and I don't even think it deserves a nom. But you remember, they did expand the Best Picture category for more nominations to allow movies like Don't Look Up
one-offs.
to make it in there. I think maybe, unfortunately, that's how Dune got in there as well.
Yeah.
Coda. Coda's up for Best
I fuck
Picture.
with
I think
Coda.
that's
That was a good movie. That was a good.
great movie. Big win for our fan favorite Apple TV Plus here.
Right,
Just getting the nomination. I think
Yeah.
that's a huge,
No, honestly,
I think that was good.
That's big.
huge win
That's
for
really
them.
big.
So,
yeah.
but you know,
That's a
I'm
sleeper for sure.
from an actor perspective, both actor and leading Best Actor and Best Actress. From the Being the Ricardos movie, Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem got nominated.
Interesting.
That's a big deal to me. I thought that was a good movie. I watched it. I enjoyed it.
I have to see it.
I thought it was really good. I fucked with, I kind of, I don't want to say I grew up on that because that shit is definitely before my time.
Yeah.
But
Nah,
I grew up
we
on
grew
it.
up
Nick
on
and Nightwise.
syndication, bro. We grew up on syndication.
And it was still during my time, during the early 80s, late 80s, early 90s. It was still one of the few shows on TV that had a Latino that I would be like, wait a minute. I remember the first time that I saw the end of I Love Lucy when it was like Desi Lou Productions. And I was like, wait a minute, Desi Lou Productions. Does that mean that that's Desi and Lucy and they're really married? And Desi is producing the show? And Desi, the Cuban guy, is actually like a boss? Like that shit like blew my mind. Like, holy shit. Like, I can't believe they allowed a Latino to have like fucking ownership of a TV show back in the black and white days, because this obviously I'm watching it. It's all color TV now. So I knew it was old, right? And I'm like, damn, back then there was at least one Latino that was out here doing it and doing something big. And so I thought Javier Bardem did a great job. And I thought Nicole Kidman did a great job in that film.
I keep forgetting about it, honestly.
I'm a big Javier Bardem fan, too.
Yeah, no,
I really
I fuck with
love
Javier
Javier Bardem.
Fact so. Moving on to one of our favorite topics, cryptocurrencies. There was a huge bust today by the Department of Justice. And apparently it's the largest financial seizure ever. And it was this, I believe, a married couple. Yeah, husband and wife, who apparently were still living in the U.S., which makes absolutely no sense to me. When you've stolen $4.5 billion in cryptocurrency, billion with a B,
Right.
94,000 Bitcoins they had stolen. And we're trying to launder.
How easy is it to steal Bitcoins? It seems.
So apparently there was this. Where is it? Because I know it's. I just seen it. It was an exchange, a cryptocurrency exchange called Bitfinex, was targeted by hackers back in 2016, and they initiated 2,000 unauthorized transactions and were sent all to a digital wallet that were owned by this lady, Heather Morgan, and her husband, Ilya Lichtenstein. 25,000 of those Bitcoins were moved to financial accounts controlled by them, and the remainder stayed in that wallet, which the Department of Justice was able to use a search warrant apparently to get access to them, which this is the part that is a little confusing to me. I didn't know that you could issue a search warrant and then get the private keys to a wallet to then seize monies. Makes, I think, the idea of Bitcoin being anonymous and untraceable and all that whole shit
thought that was the whole point,
been relying upon for a while. Nah, not so much.
You can steal it, like it doesn't matter. It's ungoverned. Like whatever happens, fucking happens. The Wild West with money. And like, how are people getting in trouble for this? Like, I don't know. That was the selling point, wasn't it? Like, this is.
It used to be, but apparently the government got wind and was like, "Nah, we're gonna jump in here and we're gonna have some access." The best part about this story, though, I think. Beyond just the fact that they were living in the U.S. like dumbasses, is that she was also attempting to become an influencer during this time. Had written multiple articles for Forbes magazine, for Inc. magazine, and was also on YouTube with multiple videos trying to be a rapper. Going by the name Razzlekhan.
Okay.
I'm gonna look this up.
That sounds like a name that would have really popped.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That new Razzlekhan joint drop.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You heard that new Razzlekhan?
It's fire.
Yeah, this is interesting group here.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. There's an airplane charter business called Love Cloud.
Oh, I know where this is going.
What do you think this airplane charter business is offering?
They want you to clap those
flights?
Cheeks in the air, son. They want
you
Mile High Club, baby.
Faxoli. Mile High Club, complete with membership cards.
Oh, I have proof. I have proof that I had sex. I need one of those. Can I just
I
purchase
have
the
proof
card?
I had sex.
I'd buy that for $1.
What? How much would you pay for this 45-minute Mile High Club feature?
Like $30.
30?
30. Yeah, I just have sex in my house. I don't need to go in the sky for that bullshit. That's stupid. There's no need for that unless it's like, because that's fake, bro. Like if I'm gonna do the Mile High Club, like I'm on a commercial flight to Orlando.
That shit is crazy,
we're
though.
going in the bathroom. We're doing it dirty. Like I don't want a fucking mattress and shit, and the shit's all laid out. Like, all right, have sex. No, that's bitch. You're not in the Mile High Club. If you do that, you're pussy.
I mean, you're still having sex a mile high from the ground.
That's
so.
meh. That's meh.
Oh, so if you
fake.
you pay for the
So it's not
experience,
real.
it doesn't count.
No, I don't think so. Definitely not.
So all right. So how about those?
Are you
how about
still a
those trips
virgin
to
if you
China?
fuck a hooker?
Right. Exactly.
No, you're not a virgin, but you're not part of the Mile High Club.
Oh well, yeah, definitely. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like it has to be legit. That can't shake. That's like filming a porn in the sky. Like it's all set up.
I get what you're saying.
Like to be in the Mile High Club is you gotta time that shit. You gotta be on the lookout. Like, you can't just have that
hear
shit
it,
set up.
yeah.
Like, imagine if I set up a fake bank robbery for you. Like, this bank knows that you're gonna come in at 3:00 tomorrow and stage a robbery, and then you go in there swinging your gun around, give me all your fucking money, and then you leave like, oh, I just robbed that bank, and they're like, nah, dog, we paid them. We told them. Like, they knew you were gonna rob them. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, instead of going in there and robbing them.
I guess I understand your logic here.
I'm just saying, that's not a hill that I would die on, but I don't feel like that's fucking. That's not the Mile High Club. If you're just
so,
like,
let me get this straight. So
buying a pass.
let's say you come into money, right? You come into money,
Yeah.
and you barely have flown in your life, right? You have choice times where you have flown.
Sure.
You come into money, you start doing like the flights where, you know, private jet, whatever.
Balling.
And, you know, you have your girl, you guys have sex on, you know, on the plane naturally, just regular shit. That just becomes your in the numerous amounts of time that you paid for that. You're not considered being on the Mile High Club. I mean, it has to be the thrill of being on a commercial.
I think that's part of it. Yeah. I think that's part of because I mean, anybody could get enough money to get, you know, whatever this love flight is or whatever and do that. And like, yeah, you've fulfilled the requirements of having sex above 30,000 feet, but you're still kind of a bitch because it was all set up for you. Like, think back to the bank robbery thing that I just said.
I get
There's the difference
your
between
entire
fake
logic.
robbing a bank and then actually robbing it, where like some shit could go down. You could get shot, killed, taken to prison. There's no fear. There's no repercussion. Like,
I get what you're saying.
I don't know. This is just me.
But to me, if you have sex in the sky,
Yes.
at all, that would put you that would put you in the Mile High Club.
But if you told me that shit, I'm not giving you credit for that. You're like, yo, dog, I paid $30,000 to take this flight and clap cheeks in the sky.
I won't be like, yo,
oh.
I paid blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, yo, man, I took my girl on this trip. We went, you know, we flew there. You know, it was legit. Yeah, it was like this whole romantic thing where we had like a bed and we were fucking up there and had this great time. And then you're gonna sit here and be like, nah, bro, you
That
ain't.
don't count.
You be like, yo, I'm in the Mile High Club, bro. Like, I'm all happy about it. Like,
it don't count.
Nah, that shit don't count, bro. Like, what? Like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Nah.
I have to sneak away. Yo, by the way, I've heard of like how crazy that is for like to actually. So I understand that too. Like, there's a level of
those tiny ass bathrooms, like
just
that's
trying to get it done. Just trying to get it done. There's a level.
It's an experience. Sure, you could tell people. And they would probably believe you. Be like, oh, that's crazy. But you should feel like a piece of shit inside because you know that you didn't do it the right way. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. We can move on to whatever the next news story is.
So you're saying it's cheating, but it still counts, but it's cheating.
Sure.
It's cheating.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're
I'll
cheating.
take that. I'll take that.
You're cheating.
But to say
He's still the home run king.
You're not getting into the Hall of Fame, though. You got an asterisk next to your motherfucking name. And I don't want that bullshit.
That's the thing.
Okay, that's fair.
But
if
you
you're
still
cool
did
with
it.
an asterisk, then you did it.
But you still did it.
That's for you.
And everyone will know.
Everyone will know that you're a bitch. Yeah, that's for sure. They will know.
I wouldn't call him a bitch.
Right.
Nah, I mean, if you're
call
going
Barry
around
Bonds a
touting
bitch
that,
to his face.
if you pay for that and then you go around touting it like I'm in the Mile High Club, yeah, you're a bitch, dude.
Yeah, no, call A-Rod.
I mean, it's not like you paid. hold on. But let me get it. You're not. The flight doesn't come with a lady. You still have to have a lady that
anybody
you'll bring
can find someone to smash some fucking
flight.
skeezer from Walgreens.
All right. So then you're a bird if you're doing that. You just doing it to throw it on the resume.
That's what it sounds like these people are doing. Why
I was
else would
thinking
you
more.
pay
This
money
is like
to
a
do that?
Valentine's gift. Like, I'm trying to take my lady on a 45-minute private flight for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
man.
I mean, yeah, that's cool, and she would love that, and it would be romantic. But you can't count that. I'm not downplaying because it would be sweet. My girl would love that shit. She's like, "Oh my god, you did all this for me," and I would be a fucking hero. But I'm not part of the Mile High Club. Not without an asterisk. Not without an asterisk.
Okay.
You can have the asterisk. All right, fine. You can have.
I don't know why I feel so strongly about this, but I do.
I don't either.
Definitely.
I don't
yeah.
either.
I don't know. It's just
Mouth essay.
in light of recent events, I'm not gonna play the drop that I just wanted to play. Come on, man. When you gonna fuck all my shit like that, man? Come on.
All right.
Does anybody know where I can get a black turtleneck this weekend?
Yeah, you might have to. All right, last fucking story here.
Yo, no. Hold on. Before we go, I wanted to express something because obviously I worked at the mall.
You did.
Like all of us did. And one year, I remember I walked by Build-A-Bear, and it was when the Star Wars movies came out. More specifically, I think it was Attack of the Clones. One of those. Anyway,
Attack of the Clones came out in like '99.
No. Maybe it wasn't when it came out. But they had a
Rise of Skywalker or something.
No. But they had a Star Wars
20-year
Force
anniversary.
Awakens?
Yeah, no, they had a Star Wars themed bears. So it probably wasn't when the movies came out, but years later they came out with Build-A-Bear Star Wars themed, and it was a big thing. So I was walking around the mall because that's what I would do on my breaks. I would just walk around the mall, whatever. I look at their display. Tell me why, and it may have been a foresight. I have a photo somewhere in my phone. I'll have to look for it. But Mace Windu, we all know who plays Mace Windu. Tell me why, out of all of the bears, Mace Windu was the only one that was a monkey.
Shut the fuck up.
Swear to God, bro.
Did
The
Joe
other ones
Rogan
were
design
bears.
this Build-A-Bear?
Yo.
Is this the JRE Build-A-Bear experience?
I took a photo of that because I could not believe that it literally like had to be somebody at the store that was just like, that didn't even put two and two together, probably have never seen Star Wars.
Oh my God.
No,
But we
that's
all
not
know-
a, that's not
we
a
all know-
coincidence.
Never
we
seen
all know-
That's
Star
not a-
Wars.
We all know that Mace Windu is the only character, at least us in this nerdish realm, is the only Star Wars character with a purple lightsaber.
Oh, that's right. That's absolutely correct.
The monkey had a purple lightsaber
Oh, yeah, that's him.
and the brown
That's some
robe.
fuckery, yo.
Bro,
Was there-
I'm gonna have to
was-
find.
was this
I
not
took a
a-
photo. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy."
We should get them
Was this
canceled
not a
right now.
controversy?
No, because I don't know if that was something that was only at the store in our mall. And obviously, I'm not out there just posting it up everywhere. Like, yo, what is going on with
What
this?
is going on with Build-A-Bear?
It's just
Tag
but-
Sam Jackson in there, bro. He wouldn't be happy.
That was
Bro,
just
I don't know if it was just a local thing.
that happened to have a purple lightsaber.
Word. And every other Jedi and whatever was
Blue
they were
and
all
green
bears.
and, yeah.
They were all bears.
That's funny.
So yeah,
Build-A-Bear's racist.
Build the Bears racist.
Whoever their parent company is, we're coming for you.
That's the episode title, and I'm gonna put that picture.
I still like Power of the Dong.
No, I like Power. Of the Dog. That was a good one.
That was really good. Did you have that in the chamber? Were you waiting on that? Like ever since I
No,
mentioned
I
that
just-
Benedict was hanging dong, that just was right off the cuff.
I just,
That
as
was
soon
good,
as
sir.
I
That was
read
good.
Power of the Dog, I remember you mentioned his dong was
recalled it.
wanging about.
I mean, it's not just in every movie that you see Doctor Strange's cock flopping around. So yeah, that was something. It was a spectacle to behold. Let me tell you. The man's just
I
like,
think
oh,
I
I'm
made
about
it-
to
I made
watch
it-
this. I'm about to get on there. I'm halfway through.
I made it to that point.
I made it. He saw the dong.
I did.
I got
That's why
that
he's
far.
coughing. He can't even keep it down.
Oh man, is that all that we had
That
to
is
talk about?
all the motherfucking news.
Yeah, so you guys know what time it is now. HOLLYWOO. So we're gonna get into a little bit of Hollywood news now. This one is a little bit like fresh off the press, but Mission Impossible 7 and 8 is planned apparently as a Tom Cruise send off. Now, so these are going to be the last films that feature Tom Cruise in the series, because you know that they're probably going to still milk it, but this is the last time he's going to appear as Ethan Hunt.
The fuck?
I don't know.
Wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about it, but it's 7 and 8. Mission Impossible 7 and 8.
That's also wild to believe.
That is also crazy. Yeah. So
I mean, he's got to make movies in space, right?
Play
Like,
Ethan Hunt?
play movie.
are they going to pass it off to Jeremy Renner?
Or is it going to be like they're going to try to James Bond it?
I don't know. They're not really giving out any kind of
Idris
plans
Elba.
for
Idris Elba should be
Idris
Ethan
Elba.
Hunt. Let's fucking
go.
get this going, bro. Let's get it going.
If he doesn't
be
get
mad
James
at
Bond,
Jeremy
he's got to be
Renner.
Ethan Hunt.
No, I wouldn't be mad at Jeremy Renner. No, I wouldn't be mad at that.
He was in the other Mission Impossible.
He
I thought
was.
that's
He
where
was
they were
pretty good.
going. I thought they were going to pass the torch. He was going to be obviously he's not
he's
Ethan
a bad guy
Hunt,
though.
but
I don't think he could do it.
You're right.
Who's the bad guy?
Jeremy Renner, wasn't he a bad guy in the Mission Impossible?
I don't know. I think I felt no. He wasn't a bad guy.
No, Jeremy Renner. He was part of.
He
Like,
was one
he
of.
was. They were.
He was part of
homeboys.
his boy. Yeah.
Unless there
He
was
his
something
boy.
at like one of the end where like he
I'm
flipped
pretty
on some bullshit.
sure in that Mission Impossible, he started
didn't
off
see
as
it.
a homeboy, and then he ended up being like a double agent or some shit. Ended up being the bad guy at the end.
I don't know. Are you thinking of SWAT? Because he was a dick in SWAT.
No, I saw Mission Impossible Fallout, and it's not. It's nothing. Nothing tells me that he was.
I didn't-
That he was
I don't-
fucked
I
up.
don't recall
Because I
that.
remember he was in Protocol and Ghost Protocol, and then Fallout was the one with the what's his name?
There's so many.
What's his name with the
There is
James?
McAvoy.
No. Sorry, James.
Henry
Cavill.
Yeah,
with the mustache, the whole mustache debacle.
Right. With the
but-
arm cocking where he was like,
Right.
"That's dope. That's so dope."
I just seen something with that today that's making me laugh even more.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure they're going to move on with that, but they're not stating that they are for sure moving forward with Mission Impossible, the franchise continuing on I'm sure there will be a reboot. There'll be this whole fucking thing. But we do know that they are saying that Mission Impossible 7 and 8 are going to be the last one where Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is a
Gotta
nice
end
little.
eventually. We get it.
Yeah, you got to move on every now
Sure.
and then. So I find this funny, but Channing Tatum has come out and said that he has not watched any Marvel movies since they scrapped Gambit.
So I remember that. I was pumped for that. I thought that was dope that he was going to be Gambit. Like,
I didn't think that was dope. I thought
I
Channing Tatum is a
gonna fuck with
very. Channing
Yeah, I
Tatum
wasn't
isn't a
feeling
very serious actor. Like him as being Gambit.
I just I immediately pictured what I imagined his Cajun accent to be, and I was like,
That is the look. The look is there. The look he
gonna-
can pull off.
the look.
But
Yeah,
him as an actor with a Cajun accent,
Yeah.
no, that would have been. That
I
would have
thought
been.
it was gonna
Maybe
be
he
very
did it. Maybe he
21
pulled
Jump
the
Street-ish.
Denzel and just fucking.
They probably pulled it after hearing his Cajun accent. It's like, yo, we're gonna give you. They gave him. They gave
if
him
Gambit
the
doesn't call someone Sherry, it's not really Gambit.
right. And I'm just hearing him in my head say Mon Chéri.
Yeah, no,
It's laughable. It's laughable.
I don't know a good Cajun actor though. That might sound terrible to say, but I don't know that who
I mean,
who
who
is a
sounds
good
good
actor
speaking
that
Cajun?
does a good
Like,
Cajun accent.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't sound believable is more of the not necessarily that it doesn't sound good, but Channing Tatum would not sound believable.
Yeah.
with a
I
Cajun
think of
accent.
like the crocodile. What's the Gator show on History Channel?
yeah,
there? Like those
you just
dudes
can't
that
understand
are-
those dudes at all.
I mean, that's Cajun, bro.
I
Like
get
that's a legit Cajun accent. You're not going to understand. So like, I don't understand like how realistic of a Cajun accent because I don't recall Gambit even being Cajun.
We
honestly.
don't
like
no, we don't need a realistic, but we need at least the Gambit voice from the series. No, do you not remember from the animated series?
Don't know. I don't recall.
I remember.
Oh my
God, he was like my
Gambit
favorite
did.
character in the animated series.
Yeah,
I did.
same,
No,
same.
I didn't watch a lot of animated
The
X-Men.
X-Men?
No,
You didn't watch X-Men animated? Wow.
no. I mean,
That
not enough to remember
you're a
the
baby.
Cajun accent.
That was part of that run. That was part of
Gambit.
that Saturday morning cartoon run, or just before
No, that
before
was
school when you're getting
afternoon.
ready.
That was a school afternoon, I think, right?
Yeah, and it would
Because it was
switch
like
because
that and
once-
Spider-Man, right?
That's true. That's true.
I can't remember.
That was my shit.
I do remember Spider-Man.
The iconic theme song one.
You see Spider-Man and you didn't see X-Men. They were all at the same time.
Bro,
Exactly.
I
That was the
I
theme
didn't control
show.
the
That was the
remote.
theme
I was
song.
fucking 5.
That's true.
Don't recall.
But anyway,
such a
yeah,
baby.
that's so that's yeah. I wouldn't expect it to be like that mumbling, like full on Cajun accent.
Sure.
But
What about in the X-Men
think of
movies?
the-
Was
the
Gambit
animated.
was Gambit in X-Men movies? Was he Cajun?
He wasn't. He
There
was.
was
He was in
no-
one
He was
movie.
never-
So then why does he even have to
He
fucking
wasn't-
be
Did he
Cajun?
make
Why
it
is this
into
all
a
about
movie?
being Cajun, bro?
He made it into Wolverine Origins, and we know that shit was fucking horrible movie. Nobody wants to remember.
we can't put that
Yeah,
on
that's terrible.
Gambit though, because
No, I
Gambit
didn't
didn't have
say-
a Cajun accent. That movie was terrible.
No, I didn't say that Gambit was the reason for that. But that we just can't put that under a good example of Gambit being in an X-Men movie, because no one liked that movie at all.
That's fair.
No.
I gotta hear this. I gotta go home and I gotta YouTube a clip or something and hear this Cajun accent. That's so difficult to.
I don't know.
impersonate.
Either way, whatever. I can't hear Channing Tatum do that. But either way, so whatever. He was once about to beat Gambit, and now
They yanked it.
because they yanked it. He's like, yeah, I haven't seen a Marvel movie since.
That's bitch.
Fuck that.
That's real
That's
bitch.
grimy.
Yeah,
Like
he's
that
a real
wasn't
bitch.
even the same Marvel studio.
No, it was a 20th Century Fox.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
why are you
Right. He doesn't
talking
understand.
shit about fucking MCU movies? You're dumb.
He said, this is his quote. He said, once Gambit went away, I was so traumatized. I loved the character. It was just too sad. It was like losing a friend because I was so ready to play him.
This is me feeling bad for Channing Tatum.
I know. Right here.
I mean, I have no idea what it's like to be a real actor. So,
Neither does he.
Neither does he.
good call.
All right. So, oh, man. You're such a dick. Oh, man. All right. So, let's see what else we could talk about. So, also coming up, obviously, we know that Jurassic World Dominion is coming out soon, right? Within the next year or so. Soon-ish. They've confirmed that Dominion will end this trilogy in the Jurassic World series, but it does not. It does not end Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. Period.
Of course not.
It
No,
just
there's still-
ends this trilogy.
There's
Yeah.
still money there, bro. Why would they stop their money
I'm
train?
done.
My kids watch the Jurassic.
The cartoon there,
what's it called? Yeah,
whatever the
Camp
animated one.
Cretaceous.
Yeah.
Yeah, they watch that and they enjoy it.
Is it good?
and-
I thought about watching it, but then I felt like maybe it was a little too childish.
It is- it's-
for me.
it's-
Like
it's a-
fair,
it's a
like Dora
kiddie
the
thing.
Explorer. Sorta.
It's just these kids almost Willy Wonka-ish, where they get this opportunity to go to the park, to the Jurassic World Park, and then they get trapped in there.
Oh,
and,
that sounds
they're
kinda
making their way through. So it's entertaining for for kids,
Oh,
but
for
it is
sure.
it is pretty kiddish. It's nothing crazy.
That's nothing dope. Like I was like, oh, I gotta check this out.
No.
Because I've never
But
seen
my
it on
kids enjoy it
Netflix
because they
and
like
being
dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I fuck with dinosaurs too.
Right.
Shit, ain't nobody just little kids liking dinosaurs. I like dinosaurs too. Shit.
You're like, yeah. Stop trying
Fuck
to
with that.
good.
Fuck with that.
Um,
Fuck them kids.
Let's see what else is worth talking about. So,
What else we got on ya?
Star Wars, in the Star Wars world,
okay.
Tamura Morrison, who plays Boba Fett.
But yeah, see, I cannot remember his name for the life of me, and I've heard it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
It just doesn't roll off my tongue. Like I
doesn't.
have a hard time. What is it? I already forgot. Tamura Morrison.
Tamura Morrison.
I don't know what his ethnicity is. Like, is he Hispanic? Do
I
we
have
know?
no idea,
Like, because
no.
what does he look like to you? If you
First
had to
of all,
guess,
Tamura Morrison doesn't scream.
I mean,
Hispanic.
Morrison does. I don't know Tamura. Like, what is the? Obviously, Morrison is not. Jim Morrison was not Hispanic, but Tamura.
Tamura.
Johnny, what is the ethnicity of Tamura Morrison, the dude who plays Boba Fett? Hispanic, Middle Eastern.
I don't think he can hear us.
Is he
Can you hear
Czech?
us right now?
No.
New Zealand.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kiwi.
I was about to say, yeah, he's a New Zealand actor.
See, now I can kind of hear it a little bit. Now that you say that, fuck.
So, but he came out and said that he wants a bounty on Mace Windu for Boba Fett season 2.
On Mace Windu, I don't understand.
Well,
why.
because in the
Is this a Build-A-Bear?
prequel
thing?
in the prequel trilogies,
He hates
Just
Build-A-Bear.
randomly was like, this is this random thing that I want for season 2. I hope it happens.
no, if you guys let me explain it, then maybe it would make sense.
No one's stopping you. Go ahead.
So in the prequel series, he killed his father. He's the one who cut his father's
well,
head off.
that's a very good
That's a very good reason.
reason. Then I did not know that. Thank you for clarifying, Walk.
So now here's where the controversy comes in. Not really controversy, but the problem with that is some people agree that would be cool to bring Samuel L. Jackson back. However, Mace Windu, as we know, was thrown out of the window
killed,
from
right?
by Palpatine.
he
Well,
did
it was
that.
assumed that he was killed because he was thrown out the window and then we don't see him anymore. So it's very easy for them to bring that character back and explain
They brought
why
Boba
he
Fett back
survived that.
literally from the
Right.
bellies of the fucking.
Exactly.
Belly of,
So real
Monster.
like so.
I wish
so
I knew what the name
heavy-
of the monster was.
the Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc.
There you go, Sarlacc. There you go.
Yeah. So heavy Star Wars fans are just like, no, he's dead. You know, some people, it's kind of down the middle where it's like, it would be cool to see Samuel L. Jackson come back as Mace Windu. But others are just like, he fucking died.
I need
he
to
died.
know. I
Just
need to
leave
know
it the fuck alone.
what Rocco thinks.
About
this.
He's
Is
on
he
the,
about it? He's
no,
about it?
he's on the, he fucking died. Just
Oh, okay.
that
Well,
shit
then
fucking go.
that's the train that I'm on too. Then I also agree.
I
that
wouldn't mind
he's
seeing
dead.
Waste Windu.
Waste Mindu. Oh, episode title: Waste Mindu
Yeah, Waste Windu.
with a white Mace Windu. Can we do that? Waste Mindu. This is Waste Mindu and Mace Windu.
I wouldn't mind seeing Mace Windu in Book of Boba Fett as the Jedi that saved Grogu from the temple. But I don't know how I would feel about some retroactive bullshit. I already was kind of down on the whole bringing Boba Fett back thing and how he survived the Sarlacc pit. I mean, I was more intrigued this time in the Book of Boba Fett. I was like, all right, yeah, give me a fucking explanation. But when he popped up in the Mandalorian season 2, I was like, really? Like, I could have swore this dude died. Like, how is he alive?
That's some comic book writing right there. That's what that is.
Yeah, and if you can save anybody, you can save anybody. Then
But I think that
means Han Solo is still possibly alive, right?
But I think prior to the series, it was in the books that Boba Fett survived that.
Yeah, but
just
those books
wasn't-
don't count anymore, right?
Certain ones,
They
certain
pick
ones.
All
and
those-
choose.
They pick and choose what's
It's like the
canon and
Bible.
what's not.
It's like the Bible. whatever works for them, that's what they go with.
Right.
So what?
It's just a New Testament now.
But what you're saying is based on the books, the previous, like the actual, like the legends, I think is what they're referred to as. In those, Boba Fett survived, but none of those are canon. They can just pick and choose from that what they want to make canon, right? That's kind of how they've been building this whole shit. Like a lot of this shit comes from legends, but they're not. I feel like they only did that shit so they could be like, we're not tied to the things that were written in these legends books.
They're not.
But some of the shit was cool, so we're gonna pull from that.
Yeah, they pick and choose what the fans really enjoyed, what they didn't enjoy. You know what I mean? Like they leave that stuff out. And that's what I love with Filoni and Favreau.
Filoni's killing it, man. Filoni's killing it.
I mean, both of them are killing it with the whole thing. And,
Favreau's killing it too. He is.
Well, Favreau put the team together, so it's like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like he put that whole team together. So, and sometimes that's all you really need is for that person with the main vision to put the right people together. So
he empowered the right people.
Exactly. Yeah. So, so they're really killing it with that, and they're taking the good things, the things that people really enjoy from Star Wars, and they're creating the new Bible for it, like you said, you know, picking and choosing what becomes canon, and the things that they are choosing, people are really excited about. Yeah. You know,
I mean, they've been like on point so far, bro. Like they haven't fucked anything. At least not that I've seen, and I'm not. They've
been murdering. Yeah, it's a good time for Star Wars fans because 100%. You know, being a Star Wars fan is rough because there are more bad movies than there are good. You know, so and then when you get into the extended content, really depends on if you got that far.
Compared to what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like you said, there's more bad movies than there are good movies.
Out of the three trilogies,
yeah,
more of them were bad than there are good. Do you
compared
not agree
to
with
like
that statement?
another?
No, compared to nothing. I'm just saying in general,
just
the
out
Star
of
Wars
them?
movies. Yeah,
No, I don't agree with that. If there,
you don't agree with that?
The 9 movies.
There are a lot of people who don't like the trilogies because they're fucking they're fucking slow paced, boring, very political. Which maybe you enjoy that.
I mean, that's
you know what I mean? But
that's what Star Wars is, though.
It's space politics, bro.
Not compared to the first to the original
The first
trilogy.
3 had politics in there, yeah. Not as much as as much as the first.
Them shits were boring as fuck.
Were more political, but I mean that's kind of the story. They had to go off of the story that was
those
made
politics
for them.
Led to the original trilogy, right?
So they had to go into that.
Sure, I understand, and a lot of people don't like those movies. Like it's,
I don't think that makes them better.
I mean,
I don't think this is Walk's personal stance on the movies. I think he's just saying.
I think I'm just saying in general. I enjoyed the prequels, the sequels after the more recent ones, the non-coherent ones. You know, they get pretty wonky there, but the original, like the prequels and the originals, I enjoyed. But a lot of people have their beefs with them. So the overall consensus is that there are more bad movies in the Star Wars series or iffy series than there are straight up like these are fucking great movies, which pretty much hold the original trilogy.
Yeah, everyone holds the original trilogy up here, and then everything else is just sort of split between the fans for the most part.
People are just fighting about which ones are good and which ones are bad. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so it's I'm just saying that Star Wars is one of those things where the nostalgia is really holding it up. is really holding it up. The original, you know, like the allure of Star Wars.
Yeah.
To the point where when stuff comes out, if they don't like it, they find the things that they like in order to hold on to their love of Star Wars, even though it's not fucking perfect. But now we're starting to get the good shit back, right? We got the Mandalorian. Favreau and Filoni are really putting a lot of fan service into this.
Yeah.
Now we have Taika with a new, you know, we know that he's coming out with the next trilogy, which I know it's going to be fucking great. And it's gonna you know, throw off that balance in a positive way.
It's gonna skew it.
If what's her name? Dallas Bryce Howard gets a trilogy, which she should, that will be fucking amazing. You know, like these are the people that are going to bring Star Wars to a level that we haven't really seen it, you know, in a very long time.
It's sad that they had to take this journey through Disney Plus to get to where we feel like they should be. But I mean, that's, I guess, trial and error and seeing what sticks.
Right.
Like, I mean, you wouldn't know, like, oh, let's just get Bryce Dallas Howard to direct this. Like, that's not fair of me to say, but like, it does sort of suck that it took these sort of offshoot shows for the Star Wars movies to possibly get on track with. But I mean, if that's what it takes, then
fuck it.
Right.
I mean,
I'm
you know,
here for it.
The path had to go the way that it did in order to get to a point where
Where it is.
Now everyone is loving it. So they need to just keep Filoni and Favreau where the fuck they are,
and Bryce Dallas
and
Howard.
make sure. Well, they just need to make sure that they are in charge of putting the right people in charge of like these movies.
Let's get some Robert Rodriguez in there.
Yeah,
too,
Robert
'cause he's been
Rodriguez.
all the episodes
Yeah,
he
he
directs
killed
are
it.
pretty kick ass.
Yeah, he did the entire. Didn't he do the whole Boba Fett? Other than the last couple of episodes, which we know are just episodes of the.
I mean,
Mandalorian.
he's written them all.
He's written them all, but did he write the Mandalorian episodes too?
Probably.
John Favreau?
No, I'm talking about Robert Rodriguez.
Oh. No, he has. I don't think he's written any of them. He's directed a couple of them, though.
Yeah, he's directed them.
And he's directed episodes of the Mando, and
Over
he's
here, like, what the
directed
fuck is that?
episodes of
Boba.
Boba. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. But who wrote these episodes?
I thought it was
It's
Favreau.
a mix.
It was at least a good chunk of them.
I-
He's probably
mostly
overseeing the
Favreau,
writers
though.
at least.
Boba Fett, 100%. Every episode so far has been written by John Favreau.
Creator John Favreau. Okay. All right. Well, all right. So we can move on from that, but that is dope. You know, this is moving on with the
and it's in a
whole-
positive direction.
It's in a
too,
positive
which
direction. Yeah. I
is
fuck
good.
with it.
Facts.
All right. So another big thing that came out is Dakota Johnson is set to play Madam Web in the Sony Marvel Cinematic Universe, which has some people in arms. I'm not sure why people are like upset that she's playing Madam. Is it because she's younger and Madam Web is supposed to be like this older?
I think it's because she's not
it's
blind.
Because she's not blind and she's not
Really?
disabled. Apparently, Madam Web is both disabled and blind. The disabled part I never got from watching the Spider-Man animated series. The blind part I did know. But yeah, I think most of the hate that I've heard is that they're saying like her taking another job from a disabled actor.
So why did no one have a problem with the series
Daredevil
C?
with Matt Murdock.
They did.
Charlie
So
Cox
apparently,
being-
in the article that I read, there apparently was a small but not large, but a small contingency. Remember, this was also in the
Pre-cancel
early
culture.
2000s.
Right.
It was in the early cancel culture, but not big enough. So they didn't make a big enough stink. If it would have happened now, I'm sure they would have made a big stink about Charlie Cox playing Matt Murdock and not being an actual blind actor.
Right. Like, what kind of quality do they want for these movies or these shows when they need a blind, disabled? And this is no offense to anybody or anybody with a disability, but like the quality of acting, I can't name a blind and disabled actor or actress.
That's their point, right? Is the fact you can't name them. That doesn't mean that doesn't exist. Like there probably could. So for this, I'm gonna have to pull this back up because so on the Oscars, the nominations, in a supporting role, Troy Kotsur. Never heard of this dude. He is the actor that played the father in Coda. He's the first ever deaf male actor to be nominated for an Academy Award. The only other deaf actor to be nominated for the Academy Award is the lady that played his wife in Coda, who is the most popular deaf actor of all time, right? That she's been in a ton of movies, and a piece of shit for not knowing her name, actually, because that just goes to show how little we know about Marlee Matlin. She's been in a ton of shit. And so, I mean, that's kind of the idea, right? Is that, yeah, you're right. You don't know any blind actors. And maybe you don't know any blind actors because they haven't been given the opportunity to act in movies where blind characters. I mean, that's the idea. Don't get
Sure.
don't like. I don't want this to be confused with me like supporting this fucking atrocity. I think actors are actors. You know what I mean? Like you can't always get the person that exactly as the like. How little acting is it if you're
If
not
someone
acting?
blind and disabled can take the role on, like
You're not
I feel
acting. You are blind and disabled. How much of an act
Right.
is it? Right? So like there's there's some part of me that's on that side from an artistic level.
I would just imagine, and of course I have no idea what it feels like to be blind or deaf, but specifically with like the issue with Daredevil, and I would imagine with Madam Web, the difficulties that would come with that is the physicality of it all. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm not sure if a blind person would come off with like the parkour fighting sequences that were pulled off.
Stunt
Required.
double, baby. That's what the
I guess,
what
yeah,
the
stunt double, I guess. But
Yeah,
it's,
I don't
it's-
know how much
it's a
Charlie
very
Cox himself did.
physical. It's a very
Probably not a
physical, physical role in general. Like, there are some scenes that he would not. He wouldn't. I mean, I'm sure like the crazy scenes, it's a stunt double, but there are scenes where his face is fully visible, and he has to pull that off. And there is training that has to go on without having the mask on, of just having the motions.
Oh yeah.
Like there are just some physicalities I think that would make a blind superhero, like an actual blind, and it would be amazing if they can. If they have an actor that can pull that
Charlie
off.
Cox can be Daredevil because he's not blind, basically, right? Like,
Yeah.
is that
Yeah. I that's how I think about it.
I mean, because I just recently watched literally the whole series with Ash, and like the whole time I'm like, this dude is not blind. Like,
Yeah, he could still see.
he's
to
like
a
right,
certain
like as
extent.
much as we think he's fighting this disability, like he sees it all. And
Yeah, so with like the Madam Web, I'm not really familiar with the character or anything like that.
I'm not
to
either.
really
That's
have
my
a-
problem. Is I don't know the character. I don't know the physicality. I don't know the demeanor. Like, I know nothing about this character, so I really can't say. But
But that's the controversy. It's just people want a disabled person.
that
to
tracks for
actually-
2022, right?
It does. So in 2032, we will be canceled for even mentioning that that Charlie
It'll
Cox
be canceled long before that, buddy. Long before that.
Oh man, we can't have these opinions. Anyway,
Opinions
moving on.
are outlawed.
Yeah. Moving on. So, I haven't had a chance to see the latest Scream movie that came out. But there is apparently a new sequel that is returning with the same directors. So we're gonna get another
original?
Scream movie.
So they're hyped. Made money, right? That's basically
It
what
must
it
have,
means.
yeah.
So they made some money, so they greenlit the next one. And I've heard not necessarily like reviews, but I've heard from people who have seen it that everything has been positive. So
I fucked with the original.
I fucked with the original
movies.
too.
Like, I mean, I'll check it out.
The
once it
originals
hits.
for sure.
Word. But going back to the MCU, since we were talking about Matt Murdock, so Charlie Cox has come out and said that he's very excited and to come back as Matt Murdock, and that he's down for like what he really wants to do next is to do the crossovers with the movies and bring that character into the bigger platforms. And pretty much that he's down to do it until they fucking kill him off. Like, he doesn't care. He wants to do it.
That seems to be the general Marvel consensus with these actors, right? Like, they're like, hey, I'm in it as long as I keep getting paid. So, hey, let's
honesty,
keep this going.
It's the consensus until they start getting offers elsewhere. Because Charlie Cox, I remember, we talked about it. We remember him from Boardwalk Empire, other probably smaller roles. But he kind of blew up with Daredevil,
right?
And since that fell through, what have we seen Charlie Cox in? Right. Really nothing. So it's work. It's guaranteed work,
right?
In a big films that when they blow up, like if he's a part of the next Endgame or something, that is a big fucking check. No matter how much of a part of that. So yeah, I mean, it's not surprising to me that he's like, yeah, I'm fucking signed up.
Hell yeah.
Like, bring that shit to me.
Like, yo, I worked for a company 5 years ago that now makes billions of dollars. I'm like, hey, if they ever want to hire me again, I'm here. Like, what the, of course you're fucking
Facts.
there, bro.
Facts.
Like, no one gets stolen away from the MCU to go do better things. Like, you've peaked pretty much in the MCU. Like, you leave and then you're like, okay, I'll go do this little indie film because I have money and I can do me now. Like, that's it. Like, I feel like that's the pinnacle these days. Like, if you can get into the MCU, something like that, where you're guaranteeing your years of work and different movies you'll be in, like, that's what these actors are fucking striving for.
Unless
bro.
you're somebody like
like
Chris
De Niro or Denzel or something.
No. But even like Chris Hemsworth, I feel like his he started in the MCU, but I feel like his career is starting now to really take off.
I hope so. I hope he does. But as
because
of
he's
right
starting
now,
to do
like,
a bunch of stuff outside of the MCU, and I can't wait to see the Hulk Hogan movie because I feel like that might be a nice big movie for him to branch out of that. And even like Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr. was royalty at one point in Hollywood, fell from grace. The MCU gave him life again, and now he just, and now
he's still not going to surpass that. If anybody, Benedict Cumberbatch, he's got his Oscar nom coming up. He can put in work, bro. Like, if anybody's going to surpass the MCU, it's going to be Benedict.
But Cumberbatch already had his name when he came into the MCU. So even coming into the MCU,
That's true.
Yeah.
He was not created by the MCU, so he still has his shit. So
anybody created by the MCU is going to peak in the MCU, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they don't. I want to see everyone succeed, but like, that's Scarlett Johansson's not going to do anything bigger than Black Widow. Like, that's it.
She's had a nice run though. She's had a
What is she going to do?
Black
What is
Widow?
Scarlett? What is she going to do after Black Widow now?
She's done some dope shit while being Black Widow though.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's done some good movies, but like, it's not going to bring in the bread that Black Widow does. Like, it's not going to bring her the fame that Black Widow does. Like, is she going to do some like pieces for her, some movies that she wants? Sure. But like, you guys are wild right now if you think that any of those actors really are going to step out of that and be like like, I don't see it. I don't.
I get where you're coming from. I completely understand what you're saying.
That's like peaking in high school. Like, that's it. It's all downhill from here,
I personally don't think that
you've made your money. I hope you have a good financial investor.
ScarJo is done after MCU.
I think she's not going to do anything bigger than like Endgame and Infinity War. She's not going to be in bigger movies than she was already in, bro. That's it.
Bigger revenue wise, you're saying?
Bigger revenue, bigger checks for her. Like that was it.
That was the cash cow. And now she's
now she can do whatever the fuck she wants.
Signs on to another film. She can't.
They're not paying her top dollar.
The same money that she's.
Oh, she can demand whatever the hell she wants.
So
I don't know if they'll give it to her.
Well, I mean, so how much wasn't she in? Wasn't she in Lucy? Didn't she do Lucy?
She was in Lucy.
Huge ass check for Lucy.
I don't know. I'm not sure what her financials were.
I'm pretty sure she got a fat check for Lucy.
I mean, what was that lawsuit? Was she was supposed to get 50 mil? No one else is paying her. The producers of Lucy aren't promising her 50 mil,
so
bro.
You're talking about on the back end. On that side, yeah, probably not. She's probably not going to get
money, fame,
she's not going to be involved in a major franchise that's as big as the MCU.
As big,
like
right,
what other franchise is as big as the MCU?
Exactly.
The next one.
They've fucking peaked, bro. They've already peaked. She can go do an indie movie, win an Oscar, do her thing. Like, she's a great actress. She's not. It doesn't make her any less of an actress.
I don't think that means she peaked monetarily.
She brought in, by the way, brought in 14 million for
14
Lucy.
mil. That's nothing. That's like a week's worth of Infinity War, probably. Like that's her. She's banking, bro.
Wait, she was the highest earning actress in Hollywood in 2019, and she made a whopping 56 million that year alone.
And that was it. She will not make any more than that in any other year, ever in her life. That's all I'm saying. Like, all these actors, like, they've made it to the big leagues. They put in their time in the majors and everything else. They're probably getting sent back down to AAA for the rest of their career.
She currently has $165 million net worth, so she's good. Doesn't need anything bigger than that.
She doesn't. And that's probably why a lot of them can sort of
just fall
off.
I'm
not gonna say they're gonna fall off, because I don't want them to fall off, but like, they don't have to try, bro. They can just go live their lives like Cameron Diaz, bro. They could just fucking retire and live. That's it.
That's a good point. That's a good one. But I don't know. I don't think her. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think. I don't think we can count her out. Just now.
She has not peaked as an actress. That's not what I'm saying. She has the range. She could win. She could be the next Meryl fucking Streep. But like, as far as her popularity and the big franchise, you know, like the recognition, the press tours, there's Black Widow, you know, wanting to be in, see, like that is gone when she got murked in Phase 4.
Just, there could be another story.
Sure, there could be.
She's going to come back to the MCU. She's just going to come back to the MCU.
There could be another story from another fucking DCEU. Creator.
The DCEU.
Another fucking universe.
See,
not the biggest, DC, not comic book related, some like Dune type shit. Though. Yeah, some other book shit. You know what I mean? Like, Dune paid their actors mad money. She could have been in Dune and made $20 million off of that shit. Like,
yeah, the problem though with these actors that come off of a 10-year.
He wants to fight me.
Hold on. The problem.
Fuck with ScarJo, bro.
Hold on, man. Let me get my thought out. The problem with these actors that come out 10 years from a contract like that, they don't want to jump into another fucking franchise. They got out of a franchise for a fucking reason. So they don't want to jump into another fucking franchise that's going to tie them down. If anything, they're going to take advantage of what the MCU is offering now, which is everything is a la carte. So you may see her jump into the MCU again on a 1-2 time basis where they're going to pay her a shit ton of money for that one showing. But you're probably right. She's probably not going to be a part of another franchise.
That's right. That's still the
going
MCU.
to be, it's still
if
still
she got
that.
a break, that's the MCU.
Correct.
Is going to give her that break.
But a lot of them are very reluctant to jump into another fucking franchise like a Dune for fear of, is this another fucking 10-year run on this on this same thing, on the same type of train?
Right.
You know, like it's cool when it's like a couple years, it's legit work. But once you have 165 in the bank, that's your net worth. You're like,
do I got to go in today? I just want to hang out. Right.
I don't really got to do that.
Who's going to tell me what to do? I got
when
money.
When you broke.
Right. And the last thing you did was
you
fucking
signing me on for 10 years?
Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
You're
Hell yeah.
begging to get all these people that were part of a comic book franchise. Like, oh, I'm open. Yeah, if they wanted to come, of course
Hell
you're
yeah.
fucking open, bro. That's the best chance you're going to get ever. Danny DeVito. Yeah, I'd be the fucking Penguin again. Sure.
Yeah. He's tired of the rum ham. All right. So, So speaking of the MCU, just so that we can close this out a little bit, She-Hulk, the director says that this series is playing in a more comedic role, in a more comedic world, whereas all of the other series have been more action oriented, a little bit more serious with some comedy sprinkled in. Mm-hmm. This is going to be more comedy based. And that, I don't know. I feel like I like when they do the humor stuff. I felt like Hawkeye was leaning more towards the humor too. Not necessarily that seriousness. I felt like it was a little more lighthearted than the previous series. And I feel like this might just tread that same line.
Yeah.
And I like, what's his name?
Jeremy Renner.
Who plays Hulk again? No. Hulk.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. I like Mark Ruffalo. We know he's part of the series too. So, so I can't. And not only that, but first of all, we're gonna get Moon Knight. I think is it May or is it next month?
I thought it was March.
March. Okay, so
Yeah,
we get
I thought
Moon
it was
Knight.
March.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. We're getting the DC and the MCU's Batman in the same month.
Fuck yeah. That's gonna
be great.
Moon Knight's gonna be tight. Dude, I feel like the Disney shows for MCU, like the MCU Disney Plus shows, like each of them has had sort of their own genre for the most part. Like
They have, yeah.
And I feel like if they feel like comedy is the way to go with She-Hulk, like I'm in.
I fuck with it, but what I'm saying is, and the reason why I even brought up Moon Knight is I'm excited for Moon Knight mainly because this is going to be the first series that has to do with a character outside of what we know the MCU to be. Mm-hmm. So far we've gotten all of the characters from within the MCU, previous movies. All of these characters are established. This is going to be the first series where we start from
fresh,
scratch,
bro. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and then She-Hulk is going to be the next one. So that's why I'm excited for both of those.
Very different. She-Hulk and except with the comedy, and then Moon Knight does not seem like a comedy.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Like,
actually, I hope that I was wishing that one would be, from what I've read and heard of the character, I was hoping that would be more of a mature rating on that one, but we didn't get that. But I think it's gonna be so fucking dope.
Maybe it'll be TVMA.
That's what I'm saying. That's a mature rating.
Oh, okay. Is it not that, or is it?
No, it's not.
Oh,
it's not TVMA.
Oh shit.
Where TVMA is what the Daredevil was and Punisher and all that shit. But it's Disney, so and that's where a lot of people come in with the concerns.
Right.
Is Disney running these shows is just not going to be as gritty as what we wanted to be with like the Netflix series.
Sure. That was one thing I did appreciate watching Daredevil was just how dark it could get and how violent it could get. And I was like, this is not anything you see in the MCU anymore, dude. I would like to see.
That's the TVMA, and supposedly
I love that. That's great. Punisher,
the-
like there's not gonna be a Punisher Disney Plus show, right? Like there can't be. The way
I
that
don't
dude
even
murders
I don't
people,
even
like
think that there's gonna be a
hope so.
Punisher
I
Daredevil
fucking hope so, too.
series.
yeah, no, I'd like a Disney Plus Daredevil series.
No,
yeah,
I don't think so.
I mean, you can unless you're watering it down. I mean,
He's
like,
gonna be weaving in and out of movies, shows, and just like
Netflix set the bar
fucking around.
so high and so dark with what they did, dude. Like,
but that's not
it's
where
almost a
Disney's
shame.
going. So
Yeah, exactly. That's why it sucks.
yeah, and people keep crying about the shit. But it's just like fucking let it go. Like we got Charlie Cox back, but it's not gonna be fucking with the Netflix.
Yeah, I'm not
you
gonna
know,
boycott it or anything.
I'm
but,
not
like,
talking
it'd
about
be
you. I'm
nice
just
to
saying
see that.
people have been crying about that. Like they want it to be the Netflix. Oh, Disney is not gonna make it what Netflix. What? Yeah, but it didn't work out.
There was titties in that. I feel like I saw titties in Daredevil.
I can't remember. No,
I'm pretty sure there was at least a titty, like one titty, like a side titty.
Maybe a side titty.
That shit wouldn't
What's
fly
her,
on
what
Disney
was
Plus.
her name? The redhead.
Karen.
Yeah, Karen. Oh, she was so
That's
hot.
Deborah Ann Wool. She's
Yeah,
dope. She was in
I
True
love her in
Blood.
True
Yeah, no,
Blood.
she's great.
Ugh.
She's sexy as hell.
Yeah, she is. She is.
Redhead.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, let's,
Last piece of news that I have back in the Star Wars realm is Star Wars Andor, which currently does not have a release date, but it's already been renewed for a season 2 ahead of the series premiere.
Damn.
So
I like that. I like when they have some confidence in their shit and they're like, you know what?
They've already
This-
renewed
this
it for a second
fucking
season.
Fucks. So let's just get some more while it's here
Before it even drops.
before it even
drops.
drops. Yep.
They are. It must.
It had to have, right?
Diego Luna doesn't fuck around, man.
No, Diego Luna fucks.
He definitely does. I want to see. Let's see. Stellan Skarsgård.
I don't
is a
even know
part
what
of
that
it.
show's going to be
Skarsgård
about.
Fucks.
Just
Nobody
their
does.
life on Andor.
Just
no one knows.
Take the ride, baby. Take the ride.
Is
Take
it
the
a
ride and
prequel to
we'll
Rogue
be-
One? Right, it has to be, right? Because he died.
Whoa. Spoilers.
Yep. Prequel series to Star Wars. Prequel series to Star Wars Rogue One, following the adventures of Cassian Andor during the formative years of the rebellion.
Stellan Skarsgård is fucking spectacular.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Let's see. I just wanted to see who was writing this and if Filoni and Favreau have anything to do with it, and they do not.
Ooh, that's not a good sign.
I don't know.
Makes me nervous. I want to know how Rocco
bro.
feels
They
about
got-
this.
They signed for a second season. It's good.
It's
Yeah.
good.
I mean,
Favreau and Filoni, they signed off on it.
None
Like,
of
we
none
need
of the
that.
people we are currently praising for the Star Wars.
No Bryce Dallas Howard, no nothing.
No, nothing. No,
It's gonna
nope.
be trash.
The series directors are a bunch of people I've never heard of. Doesn't mean that it's going to be bad. We just don't know. Like if there was one name that I can hold on to be like,
Filoni. You want to
Filoni's
see Filoni
attached.
in there?
It's gonna be
Something.
fucking amazing. But and not only that, but this is a whole different side series. So
They're gonna run it
Side
by
story.
Filoni. Nothing Star Wars, I feel like, is gonna go down at Disney Plus without Filoni
They need
flopping
some
his
sort
dick
of-
onto it. Yeah.
I don't think they were attached to Rogue One either, and Rogue One was very good.
There we go. See,
So
so there is hope.
Jason Bourne in a galaxy far, far away. I think it'll be pretty dope if that's what it is.
That's Andor.
Yeah.
Damn.
Jason Bourne in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah. It says it's an espionage thriller in outer space. Think Jason Bourne with starships.
I like
Okay,
it.
I'm already
I like
in.
it.
I'm in.
Yeah.
You said Jason Bourne. Yep, I'm there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That speaks.
That's
Dave.
probably why it got
That's my
re-signed.
language. Matt Damon signed him. He's like, "Yep, we're gonna do this."
Oh man! Oh, I just wanted to throw out there too. I know that I was gonna cut it off there, but I forgot to mention it. So Moonfall, only because I saw this ad right here for Lexus and Moonfall coming together on this ad. So
sure
Moonfall,
dropped, right?
Yeah. So with a budget of $140 million, can you guess what it made? What it made on opening weekend?
20?
Oof, I wish.
10.
Oh.
Yeah, $10 million on its opening weekend. Pretty much being trampled over by Jackass.
Jackass of all things.
I blame that on the studio. It's got to be the studio's fault. Honestly,
Probably.
like I mentioned it on the show before. The first time I seen the trailer for Moonfall was when we saw Matrix in the theater, and I never.
We were like, "Oh, this looks
I
kind of
don't
cool."
ever miss trailers. Like I was shocked when I seen that trailer. I was like, "Oh shit, this is a movie I haven't heard of before." And then since that moment, up until I don't know, a week ago or so that it opened, I don't think I seen maybe one other promotional piece for like that's why I'm saying I blame the studio. They didn't promote the shit out of this movie. They should have. It had some. I think it had at least a couple pretty big actors, and
it has just to throw in there. It has Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, Michael Pena, Donald Sutherland. So it has a few.
I don't hear any
you know,
A-list
all of
names
those,
in there.
other than Halle Berry.
she's not
Halle
an
Berry
A-list.
was an A-list name in
Not anymore.
1998.
No more.
Not anymore.
No, yeah.
But
Those are all
her
B
name still rings
actors.
bells.
Those are all B actors, but
my
having 5 of them in one movie does help. If that was a Netflix flick, it would have been.
That's
That's
exactly
we
what
Way
I
bigger.
said.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like during this, we're still in pandemic mode when it comes to movies, and they're seeing all these numbers come out for these blockbusters.
For Spider-Man, like we can do
Like-
Spider-Man
But
numbers.
Netflix
Come on, we're
wasn't going to
Moonfall.
pay $80 million for this movie.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, it would have done more. More people would have streamed it than the fucking $10 million
What studio was
that it
behind
made.
this? Do we know?
Um,
Damn, that's like $140 million
100 budget.
On
Yes.
And they got 10.
on a fucking Roland Emmerich directed.
Yeah,
Roland Emmerich, wasn't he just talking shit?
he was.
Exactly. That's why he's
Bitch,
talking
that's what
shit.
he gets. That's what
That's
he
why
gets.
he's talking shit, because his
right, he's got to
movie
put the blame somewhere.
was about to go bust, and he was very aware. Oh man, yeah. I don't. Sounds
I
like
can't
an
find-
interesting movie, but I just don't understand how they spent $140 million with that whack ass cast.
Right.
Like, is
It
this
got
like,
it got a
is the
5.3
effects-
out of 10 rating on IMDb.
Oh, still bad.
Yeah,
what's
still
the
very-
RT
very-
on it?
I didn't even look that up right now. I'm trying to figure out who Lionsgate is the studio.
Oh, Lionsgate.
And then Rotten
30,
Tomatoes.
39% on the RT, 69% audience score though.
I mean, I'm still gonna watch it whenever
It's one of
whenever
those
it comes out.
discrepancies, but
I'm not watching.
it's
it
not
in
worth
the- I'm not moving it
$140
out.
million.
No.
The graphics got to be out of this world.
Something's
Literally.
gotta be, right?
It does.
Coming towards this world, though.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this movie is about.
The moon falling.
The moon coming towards the earth and crashing into it.
Yeah,
The
pretty
moon
much.
is falling into
The moon is
earth.
falling into the earth.
Hence the name Moonfall.
All right.
Oh man,
Guys.
the critic consensus on RT says whether Moonfall is so bad it's good or simply bad will depend on your tolerance for B-movie cheese. But either way, this is an Emmerich disaster thriller running through and through.
Love it.
Great. And that let me just throw that in there, that this is all because of the MCU and Star Wars movies that are really trashing Hollywood right now.
That's why Roland Emmerich blows.
Yep. That's why his
Exactly.
movies fucking suck. All right, guys, do we have anything else to add to this stellar conversation?
Nah.
Well, then you know what that means.
Circle it up.
Guys, thank you so much
Circle
for
them wagons.
staying this far along in this episode. You know, as always, we appreciate your support. We appreciate your, we love you guys. Remember to have your friends and family rate, review, and subscribe. And if you enjoy the podcast, rate, review, and subscribe yourself. Okay? You're watching us on YouTube. Hit that like button. Give us a little like.
A little like. Just that's it.
Ring that bell, please. And as always, if you want to support us financially, please go to insensitivemerch.com and cop some gear. Stay drippy with Drippy.
Chip.
All right? Other than that, if you're really into some nerdy shit, go to DFAT or search DFAT on your favorite podcast platform and take a look at what our nerdy friends have to offer. We love you guys.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, sir.
Love y'all.
Thanks for staying
for
on with us for
supporting.
101 episodes. Peace.
IC101.